Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to Critical Beauty. Tonight, we are going to have a wonderful, amazing discussion on the recently concluded Miss Grand International 2023 pageant that took place in Vietnam last October 25th. So, did you watch it? I watched it not once, but twice, actually. So, if you guys have any comments or thoughts or opinions, what you think of the pageant, feel free to share them in the chat box below, and I'll be more than happy to read them back to the audience. So we're just waiting for our guests to come in the chat room. We have Ed Dominguez, we have Noemi Melendez, we have the Pageant Gurus, we have George, the Pageant Empress, we have Lenka Vomocil, and also two additions, Wilfredo Lopez, aka Runway Poppy, and possibly Brian Javier, the National Director of U.S. Virgin Islands. So we're just waiting for everybody to log in the chat room, and I see two people trying to get in. So let's admit them. We have Wilfredo, and the Pageant Empress. Woo, this is so exciting. Hey, everyone. Hey, Jayden. Hey, David from India. Hey, Adat from Jakarta, Indonesia. Welcome to the show. It's morning in Asia right now, so wishing you guys a happy morning. Whereas where I live in Boston, Massachusetts, and it's about 10 o'clock p.m. Saturday. Hey, George.
Good morning. It's 9 o'clock here in Thailand.
Yes. Is it raining in Thailand?
The network is not that great. It was raining since morning, since like 6 o'clock when I woke up. So yeah.
Okay.
Very wet outside.
All right.
How's everything here in Boston?
Oh my God, it's weird. It's supposed to be fall, okay? But it's so hot. It feels like summer. So what I did was that I took the car, drove around. One of the good things about living in the New England area is, during the fall. Fall is my favorite season. And I just love the changing of the colors, the leaves turning into bright gold, yellow, red. So I went to one of my favorite apple farms, and I bought some fresh apples, an apple pie, and an apple bread, and all this wonderful stuff. And I just enjoyed the driving. It was amazing. It was amazing. So really, really enjoyed it.
Great.
So we're waiting for the other guest, Wilfredo, Runway Poppy. We can't see you. Can you hear me? There you go, darling. And Ed is trying to get in, so we're gonna let him in. People are just reading the comments in the comment section. Yes, great show.
Hello.
People are saying great show. Hey, Runway Poppy.
Hi.
What's up?
Hello. Finally, I'm able to do a live with Pageant Empress, the famous one.
So happy to see you.
Me too. Edwin, ¿cómo
Hi,
está? How are
Ed.
you?
Hello.
You have an interesting background.
Yeah,
Oh.
dark. Yes, I am.
It looks like you're living in a bachelor's pad or something.
Mm.
How's everything in Panama?
Well, right now there's a demonstration, like hopefully 30,000 people.
Wow.
I'm proud of them. So,
Okay.
it's going strong. It's going strong. If we're lucky, the president's gonna, hold back. So hopefully it would happen.
So you do support the protesters?
Of course. I've always been from the opposition all my life, ever since I was a kid.
Okay, so to those people who are watching and who don't know what we're talking about, there's a turmoil going on in Panama. Can you briefly describe the cause of this turmoil?
Because of the turmoil is that the president approved for this mining company to exploit, this big portion of land in Panama, and the population was against. Like most of the people were against, but the president did it anyway because he's saying that it's going to be good for the resources or whatever. But it's actually the drop that turned up the cup because the government has been handling everything really, really badly ever since the pandemic. So we had similar protests about a year and a half ago, I think, July 2022, because people were kind of fed up with how the government is doing things. So now the president won't listen. So now everybody is on the streets. Everybody's like blocking the roads. It's really delicate, but you know, this is our Panamanians. Like even like what happens 35 years ago, Panamanians never run away from their country. We're gonna fight until the bad guy goes down. Always.
Exactly. You know what? That's a great attitude. And I think that should be the attitude of every developing country in the world. Okay. You know, I mean, you wonder, you know, hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans fled Venezuela to go to Colombia or Panama or other countries. And, you know, I mean, you wonder, okay, well, are the Venezuelan people really that scared of the government, of their own government, to the point of not being able to tear the government down? You know, it's just so sad. But hopefully things will get better in Panama and elsewhere. Okay, somebody's trying to get in. Miss Lenka, crazy Lenka is trying to get in. Should we admit her?
Yes, please. I love Lenka.
I love her too. Rafa, before we continue, I have a message from my sister. She said to me yesterday that she enjoyed your Miss Grand reactions. she said, he is the most funniest person ever. So she watched the whole thing.
Oh my God. I think she's the only one. I got like 7,600 views and she probably saw it 7,000 times.
Well, maybe because I was talking to her. I always let her know when I'm live with you. So she's like, I'll do my best to stay on. My nieces watch you. Her husband from Ecuador watch you. I mean, it's crazy, but she was telling me like, he is so funny. He needs to do all this every time. Because she follow pageants, but it's not like me, like she's involved with. So for her, this was amazing. So she wanted me to tell you that she loved what you did.
Oh, thank you. What's your sister's name?
My sister's name is Michelle.
Michelle, if you're watching, I hope you're watching tonight. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. Te quiero, te amo muchísimo, querida. Okay, gracias. Gracias por tu apoyo.
Lenka!
Lenka, darling. Lenka's in the room, baby. What's up, honey?
I'm great. I apologize for the last time. I was really not in a good place, but as you can see, I'm all rested in a good place right now. So
you look divine. You look even more fabulous than Miss Grand Czech Republic. Okay. Was that shady or what?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Miss Czech Republic because I remember when I met Lenka the first time, she said, point on there, Czech Republic is coming, and she did a great job. I was hoping that she would advance her. She was beautiful. So great job, Lenka.
I think all the girls that competed this year are beautiful in their own way. You know what I mean? I mean, even if somebody looks ordinary, but on stage, once they present themselves on stage, automatically they become so beautiful and gorgeous, you know? So I'm glad.
Can I just say one thing? Because a lot of people misread like my situation. I always help girls because I live in Thailand and I have an access to MGI people. But I always wanted to say like the main hero in a story is always the national director, Tatiana Makarenko, because she built such an empire in such a small country. She picks these girls, she trains them, she makes them in who they are. I'm only a little helper here in Thailand, so.
Well, I think you have been an amazing help. And you know, I cannot see the Miss Grand Czech Republic organization actually succeeding without you, Lenka. They really, really, really need you. They need you. You're just being humble, okay? You're just being humble.
But like, before me, there was Denisa Spergerova, there was Mary Boychenko. I mean, Tatiana herself was the first Czech woman to get in top 20, you know. Nikola Uhlířová, she was top 5 as well. I mean, they did fabulous without me. I'm just a little side helper, you know, because it's easy. I'm like, I know everyone. I go to all of the concerts, all of the provincial rounds. So I meet all of the photographers. So for me, it's like, come over, I'll introduce you to people and let the girls work. So.
Well,
But
I'm glad you could make it tonight because I know people missed you the last time you weren't here, and you know. But I'm glad you are able to make it. So we're just waiting for the pageant gurus are logging in. Also Melvyn. So we're just waiting. So just reading some of the comments here. Oh, there you go, Michelle, darling. Michelle goes, I love to Rafa. Thank you, Michelle. Somebody's okay. People are bashing MGI already. They're calling it a cooking show.
Cooking show.
Okay, can we talk about that later? Like who invented the term cooking show? That really annoys me. Okay, it really bugs the hell out of me. I mean,
The first time I heard
term? Which country invented
know.
that term? I want to know. Okay.
I
I think
have a
was
name, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna
Yours.
get bashed.
Yeah. It's
I think it was in the Philippines because that was the first time
Yeah.
I heard the term because of Miss Earth, respect with Miss Earth organization. But something happens one year and they say, "Oh, it's a cooking show," and I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yes.
that's the cooking
Exactly.
show."
Yes. So we have a lot of things to talk tonight. Well, we're focusing mostly on the Miss Grand International 2023 results, but I want to talk briefly about Miss World. I think Ed, you suggested that you want to say something about the Miss World updates. As you know, it has been postponed. Go for it, Ed. Go. What do you know?
Well, actually, you know, I am the license holder for Panama, and there are people who still think this is a rumor, but it's not. There was something going on when they posted the video. They posted the promotional video as they do every year, promoting the pageant on December 16th, and within 10 minutes, they took it out. So that was not a good sign. We didn't get any information until we got that email in which they confirmed to us, the directors, that the pageant is going to be postponed until March 2nd. And this is the 5th time it's been postponed, this edition, actually. Because, you know, before the COVID situation in 2021, they moved the pageant to March. We were never confirmed when the next edition was taking place, but then we were told February, probably, and then it went to May in the United Arab Emirates. So then it changed to India, December 9th, then they changed it again to December 16th, and now it's going to be in March. And hopefully it's going to be in March. I think this is unprecedented, like this didn't happen before. But I believe, I mean, as a director, the only thing that I can do is trust and wait for the event. But as a contestant, that is the problem here. There are many contestants who are not willing to wait anymore because there are some of them who have been waiting for 2 or 3 years, actually.
Yes.
We haven't gotten any information right now if anybody kind of gave up or is retiring or they're changing delegates. I think there are a couple who are changing delegates. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because there have been like 3 Miss World editions in 6 years in a competition that should be always, you know, grandiose and big. So, you know, that the only thing that I wanted to say that it is confirmed. It is not a rumor. Like the Miss World competition was postponed.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm praying for is that it actually takes place in the date they told us. Because
March 2nd. Yeah.
Another postponement would kill it.
Oh, for sure.
Immediately.
Definitely.
I already heard that.
Go ahead, Lenka.
No, I already heard from a friend that there's another election in those times, that it's just gonna get postponed again, that it just doesn't make any sense.
Maybe Melvyn. Hi, Melvyn.
Hello there. Hello, everyone. Hi,
Maybe
Andrea.
Melvyn
Hi,
can
Lenka.
confirm.
Hi, Wilfred. And hi, Pageant Empress. You're looking absolutely stunning. Thank you for all the updates of Miss Grand. We are looking for the extra juice right now today. But the truth is, yes, we have a much bigger elections coming up in April. And I'm not too sure if you know, pageants, at least with the politicians in India, does not work the same as with other countries. It's not celebrated as a part of our culture, even though we've had a lot of international beauty queens. It actually, a lot of people actually feel it's against our culture. And a lot of them still don't know that the swimsuit portion has been taken out. They still view it as objectification of women. But, we have a mixture of people in India. But yes, until the general public, and that is the masses of the public, feel differently, I don't think we can easily change that. Now, when it's postponed because of the elections we have coming up right now are not really all over the country. They are in a few states.
States, yes.
Yes, but the ones coming up later on in April and May are way bigger. So we have to keep our fingers crossed and see if there's going to be any political support for the Miss World in India.
Yeah, but how would the elections in April and May affect the March pageant? Which is
I think it would affect it even more.
Really?
Yes, because at that point of time, I mean, this is a good point that's, a few people around me put up that, when a politician is endorsing a beauty pageant like Miss World at that point of time, of course, when you host a pageant like Miss World, it is a huge budget for the country to put out there.
Right.
And then if there's an election coming up, the general masses would be like, you have money to spend on that, but you don't have money to spend on your own countrymen. There are people dying of hunger, there are people in poverty, and you want to spend on beautiful girls coming from other countries. So I don't think it has any base about it, but, in order to fight the politics, the other politicians might bring it up. So a lot of politicians would want to play safe, but I just hope a lot of them can shun that aside and realize that our beauty queens are not just objects. We have some amazing beauty queens that have come out of the platform. Priyanka Chopra is an inspiration to the world today. And I think people just need to open up their minds and understand that this objectification of women is actually in your own head. Let the women be what they want, give them that freedom, and see how they can empower the world. Give me a crown already.
Well, a lot of people don't understand, a private entity versus public entity, because most of these donations are coming from private donations anyway. So I don't know why politicians would care, which is like a big well, if it doesn't take place in India, then move it back to London. London is usually the default place anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
but it's high time we need to see them, because we usually have the Femina Miss India pageant that happens around the same time, or it begins around the same time. So it would be a pity to see the third Miss India World crown and the first one not yet gone to a pageant.
No, I
we have
agree with
Guru and Emma. Hello, people.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
And we have Miss Noemi, Miss Zoom user.
Sorry, we had connection issues, but we are finally here. Happy to be here with all of you. I think just to add my 2 bits here, Miss World not happening in December is kind of a breather for us as a pageant community, because it gives us a filler space till February, March to actually look forward to something. The same thing happened in 2021, which moved to 2022. We had still some pageant between, say, Miss Universe and Miss Supranational to look forward to. Otherwise, there's a dry spell. I hope it happens there.
I don't know if you guys care about Miss. Miss Earth is taking place in Vietnam in December, so doesn't your face like.
No, I used to love the pageant, but I don't know what problem they have with India, unfortunately, or probably vice versa. The Indians don't prepare enough for Earth, because I think the first couple of times I think I'm forgetting her name. In 2010, she won the Miss Earth, and after that, it's just been a dry spell.
Nicole Faria.
Nicole Faria.
I mean, in Miss Earth's defense, I must say that we haven't sent really great prepared candidates since 2015. And the only one that was close to being the best prepared was Tejaswini.
Yeah,
And
the doctor.
yes,
She was in 2019, I think, wasn't
yes, but
Correct.
she?
I
It was
still
like, she
think
was
that,
actually my
you know,
favorite. Yeah.
yeah, but I think, you know, people need to understand that pageants are also growing. So if you are preparing for a pageant today, you cannot prepare like you've been preparing 10 years back. You know,
True.
you have to bring more things to the table. But the only thing
That's true.
I don't understand about Miss Earth is that, you know, when the girls do so well, gaining a lot of medals and they're top on the medal chart, when those girls go completely unplaced,
Mhm.
that is something I find a little shocking. You know, because at the end of the day, you do need to give a validation to the girls who actually put in the effort through all the days of your pageant. You know, you win gold in so many events, and then finally at the last day, you're not there. So it kind of doesn't make sense. So, and you know, unlike other
think that-
pageants, yes,
I
Wilfred?
think the first time that
Wilfredo?
oh, so sorry. I think
Yes.
there's a connection problem. I don't know you guys I'm hearing that. Okay, I think the first time finally I saw that the girls that were winning or being the top 3 on those mini competitions, and one was Puerto Rico, the first crown, when she was placing pretty good. Then she won like a mini pageant for whatever event they were doing, and then she ended up winning Miss Earth. So I think that was the first time that I was like, okay, because it's the same. It's like how you can be doing these mini competitions because it's for sponsors and you don't keep an eye on it and say, you know what, if the sponsors are loving these girls, there's a hint that they need to be in the finals because they're the ones giving you money at the end of the day. This is a business. And if a sponsor is giving you money for certain contestants, you need to be like intelligent and including them in the semi-finalists, or
Mhm.
be like, okay, I'm gonna do 15 finalists like Miss World do. I'm gonna do Miss 15 finalists, and I'm gonna do these mini competitions sponsored by, and whoever is the winner is gonna jump in the edition to be their top 20 or top 25 or top 40, whatever. But at least it's moving something.
Well, you know, either you love or you hate Miss Earth. You know, with me as a pageant fan, I try to love every pageant because I see every pageant is an opportunity for every woman. So whether or not, you know, we can have all our prejudices about specific pageants, but you know, I mean, Miss Earth is what, like 23, they're entering the 23rd year this year, I think. And it's been pretty stable. It's the only major pageant in the world that has been consistent, even though the pandemic occurred, even though it was online 2 years in a row, it still continued nevertheless. So that's all I can say. But
I heard they're changing the
I follow
crown.
Miss
Is
Earth.
that
I still
true?
follow Miss Earth. I think it's a good pageant because it's one of the major pageants that really focuses on advocacy, and it has become very popular all over the world. So I don't know if you guys can ignore that, but it's still relevant to this day. So
But do
I
you
follow
think
Miss
that
Earth.
do you think that Miss Earth is still relevant just because mostly they always do their pageant in the Philippines and now it's going out to Vietnam, and that maybe give them the advantage to always do their pageant at their own backyard, just to say in their own home, versus the other pageants that need to be digging, looking for a place to do their pageant?
yes, it's, you know, the pageant is growing anyway, so nobody can stop it.
I believe they're changing the crowns this year.
The what?
Are
They're
they
changing the
changing the
crown.
crown?
They're changing the Miss Earth crown. They're the Vietnamese designer who's producing a new
Oh,
crown.
wow.
So
I hope not, because I actually prefer the previous crown and the story behind it.
we don't
Because
want
all
stories. No more
it-
stories
it-
tonight, please. No more stories.
no stories
No
as in the beautiful story behind the crown itself, where every girl brought a gemstone from her own
Yes.
country
Mhm.
and created the Miss Earth crown, you know.
Yes.
I think for me it's a disappointment when Miss International and Miss Earth decide to change the crown. Actually, Miss Universe, I think I had a big problem with them changing the crown as well.
Speaking of Miss International, who watched the finals of Miss International? Please raise your hand.
I was
Me.
running, jogging
Demi.
with my
Half.
Yeah, all right, so that everybody watched the finals of Miss International, so that's good. That's good. Okay, can we talk about it briefly? Because As you know, this year was supposed to be a better, bigger, brighter production. Did you guys see any changes at all in this year's production? Who wants to go first? George. George has been very critical of Miss International.
But here's the thing, Miss International used to be one of the big three pageants, right? They are one of the oldest international pageants with Miss Universe and Miss World. However, in terms of the marketing in social media, I think they're lacking a lot. I did not even know it was the finals until Rafa was sending us in the group chat that it's the finals today. Because I just was so knackered. I was so tired after the Miss Grand International the day before. And I was happy, by the way, I was happy with Peru, but I was so tired. So I think the social media team really needs to work on that, first of all, to promote the pageant, because a lot of the people did not know that it was the finals. And talking about the production itself, it was really lackluster. I've seen better province pageants in Thailand, for Miss Grand Thailand, that do a lot better job than the Miss International pageant.
Yes.
Which is supposed to be held in Japan, out of all the countries that have high technology. So they cannot even have an excuse to say, oh, we are lacking in this department, but Japan has the highest internet speed. They have advancement in technology, everything. So you don't have an excuse. So I don't know why they are going backwards. I feel Miss International is holding back in terms of going forward. So for me, that's a huge issue. And I did not like it. The production for me was a nose. And it was too dark. The stage was so dark.
Yes, it was very, very dark.
Very dark.
Beautiful. But this time everything was dark. And I have a huge issue with whoever the Japanese pianist was. I don't know her name.
No, please stop.
It was
Why?
such a disruption. Like I was thinking, if you're gonna move by like maybe second round.
That was a
Don't you
keyboard.
Fine.
That wasn't even a piano. That was a keyboard. Come on.
I don't know if you guys saw Miss USA 2021, the evening gown. There was again a pianist who was doing the evening gown, and that was very classy, though even that was a bit eccentric. But this carried out throughout the pageant, and at least the beginning was more like a disco. They're trying to build the thing, but the crowd and everyone is.
It was so
It's just,
weird.
in the intention of being transformed, they just messed it up. So you could see the judges looked like they were from some other century, but when you look at the dance and the music and it's something else.
It just
I
didn't
just
go
don't know
together.
what it was, what I was watching.
Yeah.
On George's point, one more thing, Emma. Though the social media has moved, but when it comes to engagement, I think that's where the problem is. So we saw pictures, we saw better photographs, but when it came to engagement, the lives, the interaction, I think that part needs to really get boosted.
Exactly.
Definitely.
I love the visibility that I love the visibility that all of the contestants got with that photo shoot, the one with the white and the swimsuit photo shoot. I think that was a major upgrade. I think that's what pageant fans want, because that's when you can easily compare and see what is happening in the pageant. I mean, you can't really see what is happening because everybody's just eating food and seeing the place, which is wonderful. But I feel if that's what you want to do in the pageant and that's what you want to promote, then you might as well challenge each and every contestant to promote what they're doing, so that we are all aware about what is happening there. It shouldn't be like a superficial thing that you're just giving us to see that all the girls are having fun. There needs to be an outcome of it that people around the world who are watching can build up that momentum towards your finals. And I think the photo shoots were absolutely great. I think the best in many years for Miss International.
Yes.
I think the best ever, And I love the fact that the girls could even speak behind in the videos, because then you could get to see a little more of their personalities.
Mm-hmm.
But can I add something to that?
Go ahead, George.
Because I don't know if you guys remember, but there was actually not a live telecast for the preliminary competition. So for me, that was a huge issue, because I could not tell the communication skills of each of the contestants. I know Jasmine was going live on her Instagram, but she was kind of like going on and off and on and off. So I could not actually connect with the delegates. So I think that was for me the biggest issue, that I could not build a good connection with the contestants. In terms of the Miss International, I could know what is she doing? Is she going to the toilet? Is she having a lunch? Everything was there by the Miss International organization, but Miss International did not do live stream for the prelims. For me, that was an issue.
Interesting.
But they didn't have a great stage to do a great, a live streaming. It really looked like a changing room, extended.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Well, Luisito, Wilfredo.
I think Lenka wanted to say something. You go first, Lenka.
Yeah, it reminded me because in every city in Czech Republic, we have these small theaters which are like both so dark and stuff. And then you would have the pianist there. So I literally was brought back to my childhood when I was watching it, like old school. Like I would expect something like this 30 years ago. You know what I mean? But I have to say the one thing that saved the evening was the actual winner. I mean, that girl winning, like it made me forget the whole evening and so on. Just looking at her, I was like, okay.
I
You really
agree.
did that well. Yeah.
I agree. She's stunning. And also she was very smart to use Japanese in the beginning and at the end of her answer. And she also did her homework. She knew what she was talking about. She knew how to hit the nail exactly on the point. So I think she's a smart girl. And what I loved about her answer is that she acknowledged her flaws. And she said she wants to grow with the brand, you know, and somebody who struggles with English, you can also see the effort that she put in learning Japanese. So you can see that she's openly willing to accept who she is and embrace who she is and willing to grow. So I'm looking forward to see her whole journey.
Putting a lot of pressure on Miss International to grow. She expects her to grow with the brand. But to Lenka's point, you know, this is very reminiscent of Miss World 2021, where the stage was dark, everything was gloomy, but the winner, Miss Poland, was amazing. So I think that was the crowning glory, that was the saving grace.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I would give an extra point to Miss International because, you know, the whole bunch of top 7 were great.
Wilfredo, what you were going to say?
I think the Pageant Empress, George, I think is your name. I'm so sorry. My apologies. You said something that kind of matched all the information behind the scene that I got from Miss International. You know, that this connection with the candidates and things like that, the publicity, changing rules throughout the competition. You know, we got you know, information from several. I mean, I got messages from several delegates. Let me refresh that. That even at the end, they were like, oh, we're going to count this, we're going to count this. At the end of the day, that went out of the window. And they just brought this set of judges that didn't spend time with the contestants. I mean, Laurie Simpson just arrived from Grand to Japan to be a judge. Who she knows there. It's not like the regular Miss International, that the judges are around them all the time. So, you know, with all that said, it was like, oh, I just see you, I pick you, I pick you, I pick you, and you're going to be in my top 15. And I feel that the girls that did their job, that deserved to be in that top, didn't make it. And then they just went by the final judging panel. So what was then the idea to putting all these rules about chaperones points, like they say in their life, and changing all that, changing events, letting the girls know, hey, by the way, tomorrow we're going to film the bathing suit, but it's not the prelim, it's going to be after that because we need to have more time to filming. Oh, and by the way, we're going to change the speech for a Q&A. I mean, they were doing changes within the competition almost every day. I'm happy with the winner. I thought that Colombia was the winner first. But when I saw her, I know this is going to sound funny, but I always said that the whole ensemble needs to look perfect to win. And for me, when I saw Colombia with the way that she had her hair done, looked like a little girl. And then I saw Venezuela, I said, okay, this is Venezuela. I was hoping that Colombia will win her crown this year, finally, because she's been in the top 5 for, I think, the 3rd, 4th year now. And then Venezuela came and goes, boom, and win. And she's the second Venezuelan that she said that she wanted to go to Miss Universe, not to Miss International, and ended up winning.
Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? I think all of us pretty much, most of us had Colombia as the favorite to win.
Yes.
Right? I mean, most cases. But I think like what you said, this is the 4th year in a row that Colombia made the top 5. Colombia always misses, for some reason, they almost win every year. You know, they're always the bride. They're always the maid.
Bridesmaid, never the bride.
Not the bride. Yes, thank you. I want to hear Noemi's opinion, because Noemi is the national director for Cuba, and so I thought Cuba was amazing. You know, as you know, I went to Tampa to judge Miss International Cuba, and she was my pick. She was my winner. And so I felt very sad for Shayla, Miss Cuba, because you know she's one of the best speakers that I've known, and her face is just beautiful. Maybe the fact that she lacked height because she's petite. But then again, you know, it really does. It shouldn't really matter because it's all about the face and the message that she's trying to bring, and her excellent SDG. How did you feel, Noemi, when she didn't make the cut?
Very disappointed. Very extremely disappointed, and not on her, but the fact that she wasn't even considered. Again, with the changes within the organization in evaluations, it had us going back and forth, not really knowing what they were looking for. So it got us very extremely confused. I mean, it wasn't what they had sent us, like the guidelines of what they were looking for from the beginning. And then suddenly it's all these changes within, you know, during the whole week, that competition. What did she fail in, or, you know, what lacked for her not to place top 15? Remember that there was popular votes, so 3 girls were placing on the top 15. So right there are 3 positions that are not available. So it kind of like cuts the group down, basically. And we knew we were going to get in because of popular vote, because we don't have the votes, you know, that's just a reality of the situation. It was very disappointing. I mean, what can I say? I mean, I knew in my head, I knew it was Colombia. It was between Colombia and Venezuela. They were the 2, you know, and I even thought Dominican Republic was going to place top 5. I was surprised to see Bolivia in that top 5. I was surprised to see Philippines, but they love Philippines in that pageant and it doesn't matter what type of Filipino they send, she will always place, I feel.
Well, that's not true. The Philippines has not placed several times in the past.
Well, the large
maybe every 2 years or so they place, but not every year.
Yeah, it's, you know, I knew she was a top contender because she was always in the tops, but I didn't see her as a potential top 5. You know, I saw other girls that I felt that was stronger. I didn't like, there were certain things of the production that it bothered me. The lighting was horrible. I have to say there was not as sufficient lighting. I didn't like the fact that they didn't take time to, the camera takes, they did not highlight the girls' full body. It cut them halfway. So you couldn't even see what they were wearing. You didn't see the gown. You didn't see absolutely nothing. So I felt that the camera shots were completely off. I didn't like the fact that I understood, like this year was the first year that the only girls that basically came out in evening gowns were the top 15. The rest of the girls didn't join in until they did like a group thing and then they walked in. But not even that was a good shot of all the girls. So I don't even have not even a really good picture of Shayla in her evening gown, or I have no material. Let's put it this way. I have no material of my girl competing in international. Barely photos, video, you know, barely anything. And that's compared to Grand, where I have a lot of coverage and a lot of material to gather from, but from international, I have barely anything.
Well, see, this is the thing. I mean, how many pageant bloggers actually went to Japan to cover the pageant? I only can think of one, Luis Porteas. He was there.
Joselo from Puerto Rico, from Tío de las Reinas, he was there. So he after Grand, he went the next morning, he went to international. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But I haven't. I follow him on Instagram, but I haven't seen any of his coverage. So
Yeah, he was
it
he was
very
there live.
sparse. But Luis was blogging all the way. Was recording.
Yeah,
George.
but
Can I
I,
inter- just one thing about the finalists? I had an issue with the semi-finalists.
Mhm.
I know this is something I've been saying every single year, which is the lack of diversity with the contestants, like semi-finalists who made it, because there was only one black girl. Let's be honest, there was only one black girl, and she was there because of the popular vote, not because the judges selected her. So for me, that was such an issue because we saw USA was beautiful, Uganda was stunning. There were so many other girls who should be in the top 15, but did not made it. So what could be the reason? For me, that was a big question mark. And because after I saw the top 15, I was like, oh, it's going to be a letdown. But I'm happy with the winner. It's just the top 15 itself. I thought it was just lacking so much because it was kind of the same skin tone. And this has been happening for years. So I don't know why Miss International does this, because if they want to say they're prestigious beauty pageant, they need to be inclusive. I'm sorry to say this, but it's 2023. Every shade is beautiful. A black girl is beautiful. But we have not seen a black African girl who's Miss International. So for me, that has been a big issue since the start. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
man, Miss International is being attacked as a racist pageant. I was looking in my social media. I forgot the name. It's Empire, something about related with South Africa. And he or she literally made a post that the African countries need to stop sending girls to Miss International because a black girl will never win. Miss International never had a black girl. The closer that they have is almost my skin tone, a little darker, and I think it was Venezuela.
Colombia in 2004.
In Puerto
Colombia,
Rico.
something like that. And then Puerto Rico,
Puerto Rico
in
2014. Yeah.
And it's my skin tone maybe a little longer. And that's not black. That's trigueña. That's a mix. We never have a beautiful black girl that wins. The closest that they have a black girl to win was from Venezuela.
Elizabeth Mosquera.
Was Anna. I think it was back in the 90s. She was second runner of Miss International. And that's it.
Last year,
Last year we had a stunning first runner-up.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she was stunning. But that is the thing. I mean, I understand. People don't kill me. I understand that every country that has their beauty and sponsors and everything. But like George says, it's 2023. We've been seeing a lot of Asian beauty merging with other countries and creating the beauties of Pia and Catriona. We have a first black Japanese going to Miss Universe, and she made it to the semifinalists. I mean, why you are scared to crown somebody that is not white, that doesn't have a pearly skin? I mean, they need to move with the program because let's be honest, not all Asian people are white. Not all of them. Not all of them. They work under the sun. They get my tan or darker. Let's be honest. It's like me saying that all the Puerto Ricans are white. Lies, we are 3 in 1.
Well,
say that all men,
you have to understand. You have to understand that the Japanese culture, they're quite homogeneous. Okay, they're even if you're Korean descent and you were born and raised in Korea, the Japanese will still consider you as a foreigner, as a Korean, not a Japanese, even though you speak fluent Japanese and you look Japanese. So when you look at the judges, this year's Miss International, they're all mostly Japanese. Yeah, like maybe 1 or 2 foreigners. And there's this, they always have this one Japanese woman. She looks really bizarre. She has like a bangs or something. She's short.
She's a designer. She's a designer.
Well, I don't like her. She's ugly. But but she's there. She's sitting on the panel, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's
Talk about inclusivity.
Last year they had sorry.
Before I finish my sentence, and Stephen and Miss International needs to change those continental titles. Continental titles is whoever was the closest to the crown, not Miss Congeniality. All those titles were who was the most friendly. So he can put Miss Continental Friendship. Because it's like, again, continental titles, and none of them made it to the, no, I'm tired of them. Lenka, take the microphone. Steven had me crazy.
I was just like trying to say, like, even last year they had an incredible girl. It was Cape Verde.
Cape Verde.
Yes.
Cape Verde.
Yes.
I mean, she was the runner-up, right? I was so sure she's gonna win. She's stunning. They could have had a really beautiful, like a girl of a color as a winner, and I did not understand why Jasmine won. And I'm sorry, that Jasmine is super sweet. I met her. I don't want to insult her, but I
Oh,
don't
please
get it.
do.
But yeah, but this is the thing about Asia. In Asia, of course, there's very dark Asians. As you said, they work in the sun and so on. Even back in Europe, being white skin meant you are royalty because the people outside working are dark. But if you're pale, that means that you are royal. So it
Right.
still sticks in Asia. I mean, here you won't find skin darkening products or tanning things or anything. You go to the booths, you know, and then it's all like whitening cream,
Right.
whitening a mask, and so on. So for them to achieve that shade, it's like the pure beauty.
It's
I mean, look at my
everywhere.
face. People make fun of me. I'm like a ghost, but here I'm like an empress because I'm so pale. But they
But
really
have
need
Hey,
to
they
you
ever
bring
can't
out of
claimed
take
it.
to
the
be
pageant
inclusive
empress
pageant?
title.
I'm right
Ever
here.
seen that ever
Lenka,
your
you
claims
can't
to
take the
be
pageant
inclusive
empress
pageant?
title.
How many, be honest,
But
how
yeah,
many,
it's
how many in this group have actually used skin whitening creams? Raise your hand.
I mean, I have used sunscreen that has a.
I have, but not
I
on
don't-
my face. It's on my knees, on my elbows, because my elbows are very dark. So I use skin whitening because I want
That
everything
makes
blended. And also my armpits, you know. So come on, be honest, people. How many in the audience watching have actually used skin whitening products? Raise your hand. I know Filipinos, you use them because when I went to the Philippines a few years ago and I went into a drugstore, there's an
Oh,
entire array
Yeah.
of shelves
We
of
know
skin
that.
whitening products in
bunch.
these stores.
Mhm.
These
yeah,
stores. So
Thailand the same. I mean,
Yeah, so-
technically, I'm supposed to use it because I make commercial for it. So, but I never use it.
You know, but
I
you know,
love my I
But
love my
why would
skin
you
tone.
be in a commercial if you've not used it?
Well, because I mean, you know, for the whitening cream, they're looking for the
Be-
girl
be-
with the
because it
skin that they
pays.
just.
Exactly.
No, no, no.
because it
Because I
pays.
have the-
That's her
Yeah, but
job.
you're endorsing it, Lenka. I mean, if you're gonna come on here and say you're not using it, won't they be pissed off? I mean, it's just a general thing.
No, but at the
Um,
end of it, she's a model and she's supposed to, you know, model
Yeah.
anything that's given to her. That's a part of her job.
Yes,
If
that's
people
Exactly.
assume that she's using it on a regular basis, then the people are stupid in this day and age. You know, you
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
assume that
But
she's
then again,
using
it's about
everything she endorses.
responsibility, right?
So
You know,
that's
it's about
the
responsibility.
you know, if
I
you're
think
an
that's
influencer, it's a
That's
different
part of
story.
modeling.
I
That's
think,
part of
yes.
modeling.
Exactly.
I mean, here,
Yeah.
That's a
You
model.
know, she's a model. She's not an influencer, you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I was a camel girl. Remember cigarettes, camels?
Yeah.
Oh my God, remember that? And Noemi
You know-
doesn't smoke.
And
You
I
know-
don't know.
I personally feel, you know, accusing
And
a
I was
model
like-
of using a product what she normally doesn't use is like accusing an actor that if he's a murderer in a movie, then he's a murderer in real life.
Mhm.
True.
You know, and so I think it's just a part of the job.
It depends on the celebrity status. For example, you know, in India, when, for example, Akshay Kumar or a Shah Rukh Khan smokes, I think that's one thing that, you know, you look up to such people. And if they endorse such things, then, well, should they be, you know, superstars or should they be elevated to that level? Yes, as models,
No, but
we
then
represent the
again,
brand and we're doing a job.
it's
I understand the
2023,
point.
and I personally believe then this onus falls on the governments to improve the education system where people
True.
can think for themselves. You know, they shouldn't be
We
blinded.
know the reality, what happened recently,
We
right?
have
With
to
Akshay Kumar when he
understand-
smoked, what happened?
Yes, but we have to accept the fact that at the end of the day, no human is perfect. So you cannot
True.
idolize someone to such an extent that you blindly follow everything that they do. Everybody has a pro and a con, so you only
Yeah,
follow
but
the
Melvyn,
things.
that's not going to happen, right, sweetie? I mean, look what's happening on social media. Look what's happening everywhere. I mean, we want that to happen,
you
but
know, we
it's
have
not
moved.
happening. That's the sad
But
reality.
the truth is,
right?
the biggest reality is this, that we've moved from a world from the survival of the fittest to the survival of the smartest. You don't survive. If you're not smart, you're not going to survive. That's
Yeah.
this day and age.
The fact
That's
is that
only
the unsmart, they're actually surviving now, and that's what's happening in the world. Where that's why there's so much chaos, because of the fact that the wise ones are a minority now, and that's why we see hell everywhere. So it's sad. It's not going to happen in India, at least anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
No, but
I think
coming
that-
back to Miss International, based on what Wilfred and sorry,
Noemi.
George?
Naomi has told us about the competition. The thing I'm beginning to wonder, and I'm just thinking this, on the spot, is it deliberately done in order to conceal the results, that they want to have the control of who they can crown according to their choice? Like if I was running a
that's what I'm
pageant,
thinking.
if I'm running a pageant and I just want everybody to come and then like somebody and then manipulate the entire system to make that person look like the winner. Because there is a saying in India which is called Jiska pageant hai, uska chalta hai, which means whoever's pageant it is, his rule reigns, his word counts. There is no actual judges. There is nothing else. It's his opinion, one person's opinion. It's his pageant. He can do whatever he wants and stage everything else to surround and support that this winner deserved to win.
You're describing Nawat here. I mean, that's exactly what's happening, right? That's exactly.
But let me tell you this, I don't think so, because I would say Nawat does appreciate hard work. Because the girls that really bring in a performance.
And Melvyn, after seeing the pageant this year, I am like really putting MGI last on my list now. It really shocked me, not because of the fact that Colombia didn't win. If somebody's doing hard work, I think Colombia did a lot of hard work. We loved Peru, but then on stage and what we saw, right? She worked it. She's the one who worked hard. Like Noemi said,
I
Cuba,
agree.
we don't get a chance.
I agree. Jiska pageant, uska whatever. But the point here is that Nawad also, yes, he likes hard work. He's basically described as 4 Bs, right? So he wants business as well. So for me, Myanmar being in the top 2 was clearly sanitizing the whole point that yes, business is going to play a point. You vote, get your guys or get your, candidate up there. He's made it as simple as possible. There's no if and buts. He's just sanitized this whole concept that business is an important consideration. And if you guys or countries are willing to support your candidates, she will be, in the top 5. So pretty much
But you have to accept this about Grand. There is not one system. It's not one system that works every year. Because, if you apply all the rules that applied this year, did any of those rules apply to making Isabella win last year? No.
So one of his rules is to mess up rules each time as well. He'll always play with the minds of people, and that's a part of his system and his game plan.
Yeah.
So it keeps changing. But I've seen the winner is not always the perfect winner, or there is some bit of vulnerability in that. Or you saw that in 2021 when Miss Vietnam won. They may not be the best, but they have vulnerability. I just feel MGI can dominate them to convert them in their shape and form, rather than, for example, somebody else who would be too good for the pageant. I think that's where Colombia lost points, where she was a bit too stiff for the competition for the next year or so. That's my view here.
I'm just thinking that maybe Nawat is looking for somebody who is very strong, works very hard, but is also moldable by him.
Yeah. Correct.
So that she can run his business for the entire year. And we cannot deny the man works really hard in getting a lot of work for the winner.
True.
And I say this
family,
work,
right? There's a mama, there's a papa, and there's a daughter now.
Yes, and it's not just appearances. She actually has work to do throughout the year. She gives us grand content throughout the year. So I think he does have a certain right to be able to make that decision. However, I feel he should allow that top 5 to be something that if they answer well, they get a chance to win. So choose 5 girls and
I just feel that the top 5 is, till the top 5 things are fine. But after top 5, it's anyone's game. This happened last year as well, when Czech Republic had the best answer. And when she became 4th runner-up, we were all shocked.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Doesn't count anymore. The moment they're announcing top 5, he already has in his head his winner. That last question and answer, that doesn't count.
That's irrelevant.
But I couldn't help myself, but through the entire show, think that if Mariana was there this year, she would win. For me, Mariana is a Miss Grand. Oh, she's a winner anyway.
Right.
The only thing that I can,
But she doesn't have 4 million followers. That's the problem.
exactly.
She'll get it.
I can see in this pattern is some of the girls that made it to the finalists. If you go to their Instagram accounts, they have a lot of followers, and some of them were part of the top 10 most voted. So right there, I thought, I think I was one of the ones with Edwin in the last live that says Peru, and she won. But,
George
between Colombia and Peru,
also selected.
and George,
Peru. Yeah.
you said it. So we were like, okay, it's gonna be Peru because Colombia is beautiful, but there was something in there that I was like, and the competition got into her. I mean, you can tell that for the day of the competition, Colombia, her energy was not like at the beginning because it's a long, almost 4 weeks, and you can tell. I'm happy with the results, but honestly, I was thinking, well, he's not gonna repeat. He never repeat. Myanmar is gonna win, and then he slapped the face of everybody when he did the first repeat in the same country that years ago Peru got the first golden crown.
Yeah.
But I am so happy to see Angola having the time of her life. She is eating everything. I saw her in a video with Colombia, and I'm sorry, Colombians, but Angola is like doing this, and Colombia is like right here. And I was like, well, Colombia is like the chaperone right now for her because she is eating everything. When you go to compete, you need to have fun. And she's grabbing that hairbrush, and then you see now what doing this, but there's no hair, and she's like doing this. I said, you see, that's the grand. So I was happy that, and she was one of my picks because I got 18 out of 20. So she was one of my picks with Nigeria, and those beautiful girls made it. And I felt so happy, not because they didn't have hair. It's just, you look at those freaking stunning faces, and then you add the personality. It's like, Angola is eating the world right now in Thailand. It's like her energy is amazing. I'm going back to international for 1 minute only. I'm just scared that countries that are predominant or their numbers for sorry to say this, dark skin contestants will start literally not longer competing on an international division because they're gonna feel that they're only looking for white girls, and that's all I'm gonna say. Continue with Grant.
Honestly, I think for a start, what they should do is have an entire black panel be the judges.
No, that's not gonna happen. No, that's not gonna happen. George.
Can I interject? So because I have to go soon, can I say what I have to say about the winner and Miss Universe top 10? Is that okay?
Go for it.
Okay, so all I have to say is not only because she was actually my pick for the winner, I'm so happy Peru won, because there's something so effortless about her, because I'm not sure if you guys remembered, she did not really have an airport picture, where Colombia, there were a lot of girls who had actual airport picture. She just flew. We did not even know when she left Peru. She already arrived in Hanoi, and she was there. She was looking fresh. And yes, she's not fluent in English, but I don't think it matters that she has a little bit of broken English, because she has that charm. She has a personality that is so likable. Every time I listen to her speak, I'm smiling. I didn't really have a connection with other girls. Sorry to say that, but when Peru was speaking, I was like, okay, I'm listening to what you have to say, even if it's just simple, like she's saying, I'm putting butter on my bread, what I'm having for breakfast. It was so simple. But I was listening to her because she had that charming personality. So for me, I think that is what Miss North is looking for. Someone you could relate to, someone you could listen to, even if she's selling like a toothpaste, anything so simple. Miss Grand product, you'll buy it.
I don't think anyone has a problem with Peru per se, but the problem lies in if you are going to show a question answer round on television, and then you're giving a means of competition for people to compare. And then when the answers are not obvious, then people start questioning the validity of that round. Why is it even there? That is the problem. you know.
And for the last 2 years, the speech and the final question, people are just repeating the same thing. It's about the war, and the final questions again about the war.
Yeah,
And if you see Myanmar's
the
answer, talking
answers,
about the
yeah, the
UN,
answers are the
again, it's
same.
the same answer.
Yes,
All
and
the
I feel if that's what you're going to do, then you might as well convert that top 5 into, instead of a question answer round, just give it a common speech round where all the contestants get to know the question beforehand and they all come prepared. So then you can play that card. But when you put them in a way that the entire world is watching and looking at a competition, then where is the competition element? It doesn't feel fair when she fumbled. You know, even if she would have just given, you know, an answer without fumbling, it would make a lot more sense. And she is absolutely lovable. I think most of us had even picked her into our top 5. You know, she is absolutely lovable and stunning. You cannot take that away from her. But I think it's just that moment and that spot. And sometimes you can never prepare for what is going to happen there, you know. So I think that comparison just left the world in a little bit of an instability, you know. And the same thing happened with Mariana last year, you know, Czech Republic. So I think that if that system could change, it would allow him to do what he's doing in a more legit way.
Hopefully he does that for the next year, because I'm also not a big fan of the, you know, speaking about the stop the war and violence. I mean, I know it's part of the pageant, but I think we should kind of focus more on the we are grand, the one and only. I think that's much better than talking about controversial topic. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the speech round. So just putting it out there. And so yeah, I'm
just drop it.
Gonna say 10 from this universe. So this is in random order. I have Guatemala, Philippines, India, Colombia, Chile, Puerto Rico, France, Dominican Republic, Thailand, and Mexico. So those are my top 10.
Okay, that's a good list. Yeah, that's a good list. I have about 20 favorites. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I have to like go like in 5 minutes. So, like,
bye,
It was
George.
wonderful having you.
And by the way, we did not bully George for choosing Peru. Okay, somebody's saying we bullied George to choose Peru. No.
No,
That's not true.
she's an excellent winner.
No, we love Peru. We love Peru as a contestant.
I put her in my prediction list on the first place too.
But one of the things that I was when
Lenka, you had Peru too?
I had it on the first place, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
one of the things
told you
that
from
Melvyn
day
was
one.
saying. Oops, go ahead, Lenka.
No, I was telling you since day one when everybody was obsessed with Colombia. I said it, she's not gonna win, she's not gonna win, and she's not gonna win. And everybody's like, you're crazy.
Lenka, you said you were very strong about Czech Republic. If you remember in our first live.
I was surprised with Czech not making it, to be honest. I thought she was wonderful. So that was
Can we talk about Czech
shocker for
Republic?
me.
Okay. Can we talk
Yeah,
about
that
Czech
was-
Republic?
Please, let's talk about her because I was kind of surprised. She was fantastic. I did not get to see her speak on stage, so I don't know like what everybody's
Okay.
talking about.
Can you four languages?
I am going to
Pageant,
personally
you know?
stand by Netherlands. I am very happy Netherlands made it because I think from Europe she was the strongest. You know, she and in that gown, I don't know how she couldn't make the top 5. That gown was stunning.
She should have made the top 5 instead of Vietnam.
Yes,
I think.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I believe so. I believe
But
so.
there was no way they were not going to allow Vietnam in that 5.
Yes, I mean, come on,
Vietnam
look at
had
the
to be in
audience.
that
So
five.
next year, Myanmar is going to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
Can we safely
Host
say that?
country. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
but I think it's like
Yeah.
whoever
I
followed
think-
this pageant.
yeah,
I don't think
Netherlands.
you can assume that because it totally depends on the audience. The audience did crazily support Vietnam.
well, Vietnam and Myanmar.
But even Myanmar was Miss Photogenic. She was the country of the year. She was the fan vote. So
there's
next year, of course, Myanmar is going to be there as well.
Yeah, and it's being
And
held in
Netherlands,
Myanmar next
Netherlands did not have the popular vote. Netherlands did not have a vote, but she made it on her own merit. Remember?
And and also
Netherlands,
Dominican Republic did not have a lot of followers.
And she won the best in swimsuit, and she made
Yes.
the top 10.
Stunning.
Okay, so
Well,
Although I did feel the
Because
best
of the
swimsuit was a
rematch.
consolation because she
Yeah.
fell in it, and I felt that was a consolation. But I think the top 10 was very deserving.
I think that whoever literally followed this pageant from the day one, and that's one thing that I like about Nawat is that he said it, and he keeps saying it. Competition starts from day one. So even though Peru stumbled in the final question, since if a competition is evaluating you since day 0 until final day, I don't care if you stumble in the final question because a 30-second questions cannot be a
Should not be funny.
determined factor to erase the great job that you did in the last 25, 30 days. Plain
So-
and
Yeah.
simple.
Luis, doesn't this remind us of Miss Universe 2020 when Andrea Meza messed up her final question and we all thought Peru is going to win, but eventually Andrea actually won, but there was a lot of backlash. And that's only because as viewers, we see the final question as the final determinant of the winner, which isn't the case. So I think if we are more educated about it, we'll just feel less stressed or less disappointed. That's my
Exactly.
view.
Well, for me, on that edition, of Andrea Meza, my only two favorites were Mexico and Puerto Rico from the beginning. I was like, if Puerto Rico doesn't make it to the final, then it's going to be Mexico. And that's hands down, they were the only two contenders for me that they were worth it to win. Because I was following them. I mean, Puerto Rico have a beautiful way to speak. She gathered masses. When she didn't pass to top 5, at that moment, I forget about the other ones. I was like, this is Mexico. I can go to bed. And I know when I get up in the morning, it's going to be Mexico. And I was completely right. Again, Andrea Meza is an Amazon of beauty. She's intelligent. And I don't say that there were no other beautiful girls, because the girl from India last year that was gorgeous. Australia showcased that being 5'2", 5'3", doesn't mean that you will not make it to the finalists. I don't say
Maria
that, but
Patel.
with that edition, Mexico and Puerto Rico were stronger.
Okay,
I
I'd like
even
to I'd like to
Thailand.
focus. I'd like to focus on the topics in hand. I don't want to
I'm
talk
sorry.
about the past, okay? Because a lot of people have different opinions, so we need to really utilize our time wisely. Now, going back to the Czech Republic, I don't know if you guys have been watching the behind the scenes by Crowning Sisters. Congratulations to Crown Sisters for an amazing coverage of Miss Grand in Vietnam. I mean, Summer Smith, if you're watching, girl, I love you. Okay, so she has been following the contestants. I saw her interview Czech Republic after the finals backstage, and Czech Republic she looked very down. She looked very sad. She looked very depressed. And you can tell during the entire competition, I noticed her eyes were very glassy. I don't know if you guys saw that. I heard that she's a chain smoker. And the staff had asked her on many occasions to stop smoking, but she did not stop smoking. She continued smoking. So she broke the rules, okay? We can say the same thing too about the Philippines, because a lot of Filipinos are shocked. Okay, they promise, okay, we're gonna stop watching, we're gonna stop sending Philippine girls to MGI because Nawat hates Filipinos. Let me tell you, this is the truth, okay? Miss Philippines, Nikki Demura, was late on some of these activities. She was never punctual, okay? The staff came up to her and reprimanded her for not showing up on time, okay? And not only that, but she had this very diva attitude that really annoyed Nawat and the staff. So that's why she did not make the top 20. Okay. And if you notice, after the top 20 were announced, she did not return to stage to join and support her sisters. She took off. She and her team reportedly started packing their belongings and prepared to leave Vietnam that very day. So that is the truth. So I don't care if you Filipinos who support Nikki start hating me and accusing me, which is great for engagement for my channel, but that is the truth. You cannot expect Filipino contestants to place in MGI or any other pageant for that matter every year.
But then why did the Czech Republic place in the top 20? Because she also broke the rules. I'm just trying to understand between Philippines and Czech Republic.
I think smoking is a bigger offense than coming late in general. So I don't understand why I love Philippines. I loved her this year. I mean, on stage and what we saw on social media, she was very strong. She was fantastic. She was very elegant. She was not OTT. That's why I loved her. I know Miss Grand likes everything grand and flamboyant. She wasn't that, but she was very classy. So if that's your point, Rafa, if Czech could come, agree with Guru, why didn't she as well? I think Philippines definitely deserved that place. Vietnam did not. And I'm sick and tired of this business thing and the staff thing. And if you're going to keep it a competition, keep it straightforward. right? Otherwise, just don't have judges. Just Nawaz, just sit there and just have this entertainment show going on, and we'll all watch.
But
So
Emma, those are the rules of MGI. Those are Nawaz's rules. That's
then
why.
it's
Why do you
it's,
expect? Why do you think?
hypocrisy, right?
Why do you think the pageant was 3 weeks long? You cannot judge a potential winner in a 1 week long competition. You have to have at least 3 weeks to be able to observe them, very cautiously, very, like an eye of a tiger. You have to really watch them
Agree.
carefully. Because
Agree,
you're
but
gonna
what
end
you
up-
just said,
if you were in Nawaz's position, wouldn't you want to say pick the
but
right?
then I would not get a
person to work with?
smoker. I would not get a smoker on stage. I smoke. I turn off the camera because I'm smoking, by the way. But the thing is that if that was the reason, you would not have a smoker on stage, but a girl coming late.
No, but
There is
honestly,
something more to
I
that.
don't think
just
smoking
feel
is a
that
bigger offense than punctuality
it would
because
be. It would be if they have Melvyn, if they have an issue on it, and smoking is an issue in the world
No,
right
let
now.
me tell you,
it
no,
can
that's
be
a different
fine.
thing. But what I
They
am
might
saying
have their
is
own
she might be
criteria.
smoking and she might be doing it aside or whatever. But punctuality, you will be delaying everybody else in the competition.
Exactly.
You know,
It's that if you're going to
you'll be
judge
delaying production, you'll be
issue-
causing a burden to the entire production itself. Smoking is just something you can get annoyed with her personal habit.
how
But
much of a
also
factor
another
we
thing
know
I
that it
would
was
think
just the fact that
Czech
she was
Republic
late.
would also need to get a few brownie points because you have to understand in today's day and age, it's not just about the delegate, it's also about the organization. And the organization of Czech Republic has taken a lot of effort in order to put this girl forward out there with the best front. They've had a national contest for the first time. They have sent her for so many events before Miss Grand. So they've actually worked on helping build the brand.
Yeah,
So,
but Melvyn, that's not the point here. The
even
point
with-
I'm trying to
even
make
with
here
the-
that I feel Philippines and Thailand have an issue going on. We saw this in Miss Universe last
no,
year.
but
when
you know, at the end of it, even when we
there
did have
has to be, there is
our
some
previous
issue
talk,
here.
no, but when we
There
did
are
have a
posts
previous
going
talk, we
around.
all
I think
agreed that Philippines had to get more of a grand element. You know, she didn't have a grand element even till now. I mean, I didn't know these.
Grand element. I don't think Peru was grand. Peru was adorable. She was sweet. She was natural, just like George was saying. She was natural. She was not gimmicky. You don't need to be grand, Melvyn. That's not the point here. The point here is that you have two Thai people running these huge pageants, and there is an issue with Philippines. You got to call a spade a spade. They are post Rafa, sweetie. I think you've seen that. You know, with Kunan and Navat, and then the Philippines place. There is an issue. Why aren't you addressing that? Why are you going around the thing, circling around that? No, that's not the point here. Whether she smoked or whether she came late. So, and if Philippines left in a half, yes, there is an issue here. So I just feel like you get aggravated to that point, and then you lose interest, and you don't know what happened behind the scenes. To be honest,
Melvyn's
Go ahead.
point, for Philippines as well, they actually had a different organization, conduct the pageant this year for the first time. Maybe they still need to learn what the grand equation is.
No,
maybe
what I
it would
meant
have
to
got,
say, what I meant to
highly-
say is that, you know, it's not just the organization, but the girl itself did try to fit in the grand mold. But Philippines, I'm telling you, till today, I would love to see her as a winner, and I would love to see her at Miss World. I just, you know, and I'm judging only particularly by her performance itself, taking aside all the things that she did backstage. I felt on stage, she's stunning, she's gorgeous, but she didn't bring that fun factor. She was walking like a Miss World.
In fact, the staff actually came up to her many times and told her, show us more energy. And she kept saying, and she said reportedly, I'm not going to change. This is me. Okay, whatever, girl. Okay. If you don't
And
want
let me tell you this,
that's your problem.
before the contest even started, she was my winner. You know, she's so gorgeous and I love her so much. You know, I wish she would have won. But, you know, when I saw the performances, I just don't think the homework was done for Miss Grand.
Lenka, darling.
Yeah, I just wanted to say with Philippines, I have heard from the trainers in Philippines that she has been very vocal about the fact that she wants to go to Miss Universe. She didn't even want to win Miss Grand. She was surprised. Her mom was giving interviews where she was saying they want to go to Miss Universe. So for me, Nikki was absolutely stunning. I remember when I was training Sophia, I wasn't training her when she was here in Thailand, sorry. And then I saw Nikki winning and I was like, whoa, this girl is a major threat. You know what I mean? Like I was terrified. But then she came in and she was really giving low energy and everything. And every time I was putting together a prediction list, I'll put the countries down, and then someone will be like Philippines. I'm like, oh yeah, Philippines, because I would always forget that she's there because she was so quiet and she didn't take the steps. And why Sofia in top 20 and not Philippines? It's also like, you know, like she knows how to sing, but she didn't want to get involved in that. She didn't promote the sponsors. She literally came there and was like, I don't even want this. You know what I mean? Sofia made mistakes, but she was at least like, okay, I really want this.
But I think that one thing that maybe people doesn't realize this behind the scene, and that's the reason why I applaud now one of that department. I don't care about the smoking and whatever. For Asian people, I learned decades ago that punctuality is the most. And some people doesn't know this. So now that the pageant is over, these delegates needed to do homework before arriving to Vietnam. And they have a score sheet. And when you submit your videos on time, you will get score for the finalists. So that you see, and our girls like doing videos and sending it on time because they don't want to lose points. When I saw the chart, Philippines didn't provide her information. None of the videos. She was one of those. So sometimes people, again, the fans are like, why this person didn't make it? Why this person didn't win? Because their work throughout the competition didn't speak volumes. And I'm sorry, I was disappointed with the girl that I saw in the for Philippines in Grand because she just did low energy. Her demure. I mean, if you know that you want to go to Miss Universe, don't be selfish. Step out of the competition and allow somebody that really wants to go and get their job done. Because that is the thing that I'm always saying it. If you're joining the pageant just because your mom thinks that you're pretty or whatever, but it's not the system that you want, or you really don't want to be a pageant contestant to do this job that you get paid and travel and anything, don't be selfish and allow somebody that really wanted to go. Because if I would have been the first runner up for that title, and I know that this girl, because I don't want to use another word, this girl right here won over me, and she doesn't want this situation, how am I gonna feel? I will pull that from out of her weave for here or whatever. I said, you don't want to go, I go for you. Don't worry. I really want to go. So again, that is the reason why I love that part that they evaluate all this. This competition was hard to pick the winner versus last year. I said it in the other live. And this was an up and down. And I even said it last time that putting personalities aside, these are my favorites. But that's one of the reasons why I chose Peru as a favorite, because I love what she showed from the get-go. Her personality, her theme. Of course, if you see the 20 finalists, some of them enter because of the followers, because what they do. Because some of the girls that made it to the top 20 was only for followers. They didn't deserve to be there. You cannot tell me that there were some girls that were out and they didn't deserve to be there. And I'm not talking about Cuba because I'm putting Cuba aside. But there was other girls that really deserved to be there and they didn't make it to the top 20. Again, we are learning what Nawaz won. This is Nawaz pageant. But talking about the Philippines, the fans need to realize one thing. Now, what is Asia? He has a team. So they love pageants. They will read the comments. All the negative comments and the bashing towards the organization. You guys and you girls are the one that as well making the Philippines to make it too. Because if a fan of a pageant is bashing a pageant just because their contestant didn't make it, you know what you're doing? Tarnishing the chance to your delegate for the next year, because the owner is going to say, also, if you don't like me, okay, I'll get your money, send me your delegate, but I'm going to let you clap.
Yeah.
That's all I need to say.
Exactly.
I mean, they were hurting Nikki during the process too, because, you know, when she was competing, there was a lot of hate from Philippines. So it's like, how do you expect the girl to win if Nawaz sees that she doesn't even have the support of her own country and own people, you know?
I'd like to hear from Ed. Ed has been very quiet. What do you think?
Because emotional intelligence, sometimes you need to stay quiet. Okay, I think we moved on from Miss International without me realizing it, and I just wanted to say something to wrap it up. They are not going to change. They're going to be always white. And you see that the contestants who are intelligent, they adapt themselves to the Japanese culture. For example, the winner, Andrea, who I find absolutely gorgeous. This is a girl who didn't have the support of Venezuela. They hated her. They kept insulting her after the whole rigging accusations. And they said that she was not going to do anything in Japan, that she was not the type, that she was too much as a showgirl, that she was too short. And now everybody's loving her. I've seen this happen a lot. Now that she won, now everybody loves her. Oh, I always believe in you. No, they didn't. They wanted her to resign because of the other two girls who said that they had won the pageant. Remember all this? It was a huge issue when Diana Silva and Andrea won Miss Venezuela, and then the judges came out on television saying that it was rigged. So I'm happy that she won, but this is an example. She studied the pageant. The Andrea that arrived in Japan is not the Andrea that won Miss Venezuela. And this is something that I respect. This is exactly why Catriona won Miss Universe. Because the Catriona that was in Miss World was not the same one who arrived in Thailand. So Andrea decided, I'm going to win this. I don't know if having this situation at hand gave her the fuel to, prepare herself more. But she whitenized herself like the other girls. Miss International was
darker. She's darker before?
Not really, but they cleaned her look. They darkened her hair. They made her like a princess. She looked so stunning. Like I could watch her face all day and never get tired. But this is the thing. This is a pageant that is easy to predict. I did have Cote d'Ivoire in my top 5 because they had been adding African girls like from the past years. This year they didn't. But this is the thing. It's not going to change. Like we are talking about 2023, but that's their culture. That's what they do. The production's not changing. I don't think the selection process is changing either. I mean, they're still doing the same things and they want the same type of winner.
Yeah.
And this is similar to what happens in other pageants. For example, if you are going to Miss Grand, you need to show MGI and professional. And if you go to Miss Universe, you need to be American. That's what I've learned. Miss Universe no longer, Miss Universe used to respect the cultures. But now if you don't westernize yourself, you have no chance at Miss Universe. All the girls need to walk the same, have the same type of body, and deliver the same type of answers. And Miss World actually respects the culture. Miss World can have a girl from Rwanda and a girl from Papua New Guinea in the finals, and they don't need to have like perfect English and they don't need to have perfect runways. But the system in each pageant is kind of like making these girls to change themselves into something they're not. Look at Miss Grand Angola. She went to Japan. She whitened herself to go to Japan. Did you notice that?
Miss Grand Angola?
Miss Grand Angola from 2022 competed in Miss International this year.
Oh, yeah.
Angola.
Yes.
It's the same girl, but she whitened herself a lot.
That's right, yeah. And she won the best national costume.
Yes.
I think so, yes. But this is something that I think we can criticize, but I don't think it's going to change unless they get new owners.
Well, unless they hold the pageant outside of Japan. So
not really, because it's been in China and it's been in Macau, I think.
Yeah.
Macau.
Next year is going to be in Malaysia. So we will see what's going to happen. So it's interesting. But I've already been in pageants in Malaysia and it's not that different. You see? I mean, they value a lady-like winner. That's true. And going to Miss Grand, I forgot what we were talking about. Yeah. Well, I talked to a lot of people, and apparently half of that top 20 were girls who broke the rules. You see? So when they said that the staff was choosing and everything, I'm sure that they reward some of them who were really professional, but of course, some of them were not. And a couple of the girls in the top 20 have horror stories with the other contestants. So in the end,
what do you know?
That's how it works.
Tell us, what do you know?
I don't know. I would have to ask the girls if they want the story released or not. Because, it's like we said, when they got there in Vietnam, everybody was like, oh, we are friends and the sisterhood and everything. And by the day before the pageant, they all hated each other and they wanted to go at each other's throats. This is going to happen. They have the top 10 and they're going to have the top 10 for 2 months. Yeah, before December, those girls are going to want to kill each other. You see?
Except Angola and Nigeria, because they both made the top 20 and they're roommates. So they must.
Nigeria is in the top 10?
Top 20.
No, not top 10, top 20.
No,
top
top 20.
20.
Yeah,
No,
but they both made the cut. That's what I'm saying. They were roommates.
Oh no, but that was lovely. That was lovely and unexpected for me. I didn't think he was going to choose the 2 of them. I thought he was going to choose 1 of them. And but yeah, I mean the la convivencia. I don't know the word. How these girls are together for so long, it's counterproductive. You see, it's counterproductive. There is a moment, because I've worked in this for 30 years. There is a moment where they're all synchronized with their periods. And this
because they've been
happens,
together so much that they live.
They're synced. And this usually happens.
Yes.
This usually happens 2 days before the finals.
Yes.
And they get like really bitchy and you don't know how to control them. And this is where McDonald's comes to save us.
I love that you
Because
said that. I absolutely love that you
You
said
grab these girls who have been starving for a month. They cannot take it anymore. They miss their family. So, okay, let's take them to McDonald's. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting how they handle the stress, because it's too much stress, like from the organization, from their pageant mates, and from the fans, and from the directors. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But you know, to take on that point, and Lenka, I think, would be the best person to say about that. Isn't that what the industry is later on when you're going to work?
Yeah. I mean, you know, even when we were talking about like the different types for different competition and so on, for me, like when people are like, okay, why do we do competition if we're only choosing certain types and so on? For me, it's not that horrible, because as a model, you always know where is your market. You know, in this country, I'm going to make shitloads of money, and in this country, I will never work. But if I want to go to a country which is not my type, then I transform myself. Like this haircut is my New York haircut, because I was always so commercial, you know what I mean? Like I would do advertisement, TV ads in Asia, I would make a lot of money, but going to New York, every agency I stepped into were like, you're too commercial. We need someone more fashion. So I had to cut my hair very edgy. I had to lose weight, you know, pair myself up. And that's when I started working. And I think it's the same with beauty pageants. Like you need to focus on what beauty pageant is like, kind of like liking your type of facially and figure wise, and if not, then you just transform yourself. And also you need to realize if they stand for your points or not. But if you're like forcing yourself in the market, which is really not booking girls like you, then it's, you know, you have to realize everything is about that. And also beauty pageants are not doing that much money, right? So in order for the beauty pageant to survive, they do have to pick someone who is going to work in their market and make them money. And it's sad, but if they don't do it, there's not going to be another competition. There's not going to be another chance for future girls. You know what I mean? So,
and the initial years in fashion, or whether it is the movie industry, is a lot of work before you actually hit that moment where you're just reaping out of your fame. So I think Nawat puts them to a good pressure system to be able to really produce winners out of that pressure system.
yeah, and you know, he has spies everywhere. Like we don't know these things, but I know he has spies everywhere, and he's watching the girls when nobody's watching. When the girls think, oh, the judges, the organization, they are not watching, there's a cleaning lady who could be watching you and reporting to Nawat and so on. You know what I mean? Like he knows everything. And there was a lot of fighting behind the stage. There was a lot of being late. There was a lot of rudeness to the staff this year. There was a lot of things we did not see. So we're like, oh, why this girl didn't place higher? And I'm like, well, we were not there. We don't know what really happened. So it's, you know.
But any reason why France made it? I think she was my only, contestant which I couldn't fathom to make to the top 20.
I was reviewing our last group chat on after the prelims. Wilfredo was the only one who had France in the top 20.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I think, yeah, I told you, I was like,
he was the only one. So congratulations.
thank you.
He was a
thank
silent
you.
killer.
I had
know,
lots of
I-
alternatives.
The
I
what?
had Laos. Did anybody else pick Laos? I had Laos in my
No.
top three.
Yeah, I have
So
her.
those
Because
two
I-
girls were a surprise, and of course Emma picked Honduras as her winner. And congratulations, darling.
You know, she could have won. You never know what happened backstage, like everyone's talking about.
Well,
If she didn't look up
mm,
backstage, she probably could. I
mm.
don't know. This girl seemed very smart. I feel
Now the pageant is
maybe
over.
could have.
Now that the pageant is over, I can give you the answer on that one. No, she's not
Yes,
smart.
yes.
She is a sweet
Why do you
person.
say she's
Uh,
But-
She
Why-
she's
Emma,
not
she-
smart.
She needs more of you in her life. She's going to become
Yeah.
a winner very soon.
She's a sweet person. I have her in my final pick because I made a post in my Instagram about my final pick because I rewatched the pageant. She's not that smart. She is super beautiful, super humble. She needs a different team. But what affected Honduras to further was her own director, her behavior. She was complaining all the time because we were getting all the contestants, they were able to identify the director. She was always complaining and things like that. And that's another thing that people doesn't realize. If your team, if the directors are doing things behind the scene, that affect your candidate because that means I don't want these girls in my finalists because that means I need to deal with you too. So that's one of the reasons. Sometimes the team of the contestants can affect or tarnish somebody's performance. So that's where, like, because when I talked to her before she went, I told her, she asked me, do you see me winning? I say no. And if you want to be in the top 20, you need to work it because you cannot lose focus. But then you see all these messages about the director being disrespectful, being always complaining about everything. And it's like, well, good luck, Honduras. You will not pass top 20 if you make it there. And that happens. And that's one other thing that people doesn't realize. This is a business. They're not only looking to hire a girl. With the girl is come the freaking family, the freaking director, the freaking everybody. And if the girl is good, but the families of that girl are troublemakers, or the directors are troublemakers too, they're gonna be like, you know what, you're beautiful, but the people behind you is gonna give us a headache, so sorry, you cannot enter. Plain and simple.
You know, on
And I don't know
those
who agrees
grounds,
with
I
me,
think
but-
one person got a very, very strong privilege, and that is Thailand.
Of course, every year.
Of course, it's the
I
home
think she
turf.
went too far, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was the luckiest in the top 10.
Yes,
Yeah.
the luckiest.
She's beautiful.
But she did tone down, her swimsuit,
did.
antics.
Yes.
None of
And
So
the
that was
she
like a
really
solution.
looked great at the finals. I
She
mean,
looked amazing.
But I was not impressed by her. I still feel Thailand's spot could have been given to any other girl. There were so
I would
many
say give
more
it to
girls.
India. I fell in love with
India,
the
I mean-
wink to everything that she did. I'm not saying that because I'm Indian. I just fell in love with everything she did on stage.
I want to see more of Arshana. I think she's fantastic. I hope I'm not sure what other opportunities are going to arise for her, but I do want to see more of her. She's fantastic. I do think she needs a little more grooming because her walk is weak. There were a lot of comments in our channel that, when she walks, you can see her knee bend. Yeah, that is a
Yes.
problem. You can clearly
But I'm
notice that.
telling you, the thing
She
she
needs the
did
right
with her
grooming.
face was magical.
Oh, she's fantastic. I think she's got a lot to grow.
She's
and
got that thing on the face. She's got that sass factor that she really pulls
has
you
it, and
into that face. It's not
she's
just a
not-
beautiful face, it's magnetic with its expressions.
Yeah, she needs a nice pageant coach, a good pageant coach, like what Louise has been talking about. You need a good family to support you. I think if she gets that, then she perfects her walk and everything else, we'll see a lot more from her. But having said that, Thailand being there, no, I did not get wowed by her at all. I just found her very, I've seen that kind of a look before. Like, I'm not going to say Philippines again. I mean, I love Philippines. I wish she was there, but I think maybe Czech, or I think maybe any other country that was so strong that could have been there.
What about
Nigeria,
yeah?
or
What about Uzbekistan? What do we think?
Uzbekistan, Russia. Why? And I'm so happy. Thank God. Please don't want to talk about this. Russia getting the best in evening gown. Yes, they got one thing absolutely right. So love that. So I think Russia could have got Thailand's spot. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, that was something I wanted to see. But I was bored with Thailand. Honestly, I've seen that many times. So that's not a refreshing look for me. So yeah, that's it. But nothing against the Thai people. I love them.
Since I have our Indian friends, I sent Emma, I sent you that Instagram clip about Stephen Diaz, the director of Miss International, a video that dates back from 3 years ago, where he was asked the question by Indian fans why India has not made the cut in Miss International for such a long time, and I didn't know what to add. I didn't know what to say because I'm not really familiar with the story. Can you inject some thoughts into that?
Guru and I discussed it. Guru, why did you take this one?
Go ahead, Guru.
I think after last year's, Zoya Afroz not winning, I think that was the best candidate that we could have had for a long time. Fitted the typical stereotype or the kind of persona that Miss International wants. Toned down her way, her walk, her evening gown was amazing, done by Saisha. Her national costume sari was so elegant. Even after doing all this, if still things don't work out, but yesterday's or our current contestant, I think red, I don't know what's the thing with red color. Our contestants have been wearing red as well, which is just not on brand of International.
It's white. They prefer white gowns. Yeah,
so
they prefer
I've
white.
seen that a couple of times. They are just trying to be very outrageous, and it just doesn't fit. They stand like, an outlier in the entire group of pastel and whites and mother of pearl colors. It's just a misfit. I think the Indian organization that selects the representative needs to completely get a crash course as to what Miss International wants.
But I have a strong internal information that came a few years ago, and I'm not going to name who it was from the Miss International organization, but they passed a comment that said that if Srinidhi Shetty, who was our Miss Supranational, was sent to Miss International, she would win. So they did kind of give us a prototype of what they're looking for from an Indian candidate. They're looking for somebody who has that graceful womanly elegance, which has which is backed with a lot of respect. It's not the showgirl. It's not the one even about the performance. They're really looking for somebody with a great heart, if I may say so, because I can vouch by Srinidhi that she is the biggest golden heart of all beauty queens that you can find. She has the capacity.
Why did Roshmita Harimurthy then go for Miss Universe?
Why did she go for Miss Universe, as in?
Because Srinidhi was second, right? Do you think she bested her? We can have that conversation some other day. We'll stick to what Rafa has.
Yes, we should stick to what Rafa has. Yeah, so that concludes that. So,
but I was happy to see for Miss Grand International, the gowns in the top 10 were not green. Most of them were different. They were silvers or they were reds or hues of red. So that was refreshing to see. No green make it to the top 10, except for Myanmar, who had a bit of gold and green, but more of gold.
I preferred her preliminary gown over the final gown.
Mm-hmm.
And even her look, the bun, which was there, it was giving
in the preliminary, she looked more majestic.
Yeah.
In the finale, I think she got lost a little bit with that yellow gown.
She looked flustered as well. In most of her, when she was advancing, when she came in the top 10, she was like, is it me? Is it me? And then sometimes she couldn't hear it, but she was obviously progressing round after round.
And thank you for that information. I really appreciate it. Just reading some of the comments, somebody's saying, Emma, you have a hater. Emma is immature, sounds like a mean girl.
Oh, the
You're a mean girl, Emma.
Oh wow. I guess I'm brutally honest. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. If I see a spade, I will call it a spade. So yeah, you're not gonna like that. I'm sorry, but facts are facts, sweetheart.
Sorry.
I'm sorry that you hate me, but I love you.
Somebody's saying Uzbekistan unfollowed her roommate Indonesia. Is that true?
I don't know.
Where are these
She's
people
not in
getting
my contact list.
Where are these people getting this information? I just like rumors or something. So
Me
Brian,
too.
Check on Instagram.
our good friend Brian Javier, I invited him to the chat show, but he keeps commenting instead. Brian,
Hi,
are
Brian.
you going to show your face, please? Come join us, darling. You're missing a lot. Come talk us about your girl, U.S. Virgin Islands, and why she left.
Look who's there.
Rafa,
Oh, what a cutie
Rafa.
dog!
I'm
Who's
loving
that?
it.
Look at that
one
face.
thing,
Is that
one
the
thing
That
is,
beautiful
Is that the
face.
baby?
Yeah,
Lenka,
it's the baby.
that's the
He
baby.
said he has an opinion too.
Oh my, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can tell
Tell us.
All he has.
his massive head. Oh my gosh,
Oh my God.
So that
look,
matters.
you're-
is the lens.
Camera.
Is the lens.
his head is quite massive. I say.
I was
Wow.
literally there when they delivered him. You know, he was in
All
my
right.
hand.
So, who do you think wins the Miss El Tocuyo for Miss Grand this year? Philippines, right?
Venezuela.
Philippines. Philippines.
I think Venezuela as well.
Miss Tocuyo or Venezuela was not real on everybody's list though. She wasn't. It's Philippines. Philippines
It's
was on
Philippines.
everybody's list. Yeah.
Because
Because
we know
Tocuyo-
whenever
I
these
do-
alternating
I do
ways
wanna-
in Philippines.
I still believe in that girl. If she can get her act together, she can win a crown. It is that crown, that head deserves a crown. You know, I stand. But she just needs to get everything together and know what she's going for.
All right. Ed,
Actually,
speak up.
Rafa,
Yes.
more than Philippines, if you're gonna choose a Tokuyo, for me would be Canada, because everybody
Oh,
had that girl
Canada.
in their
Yeah.
top.
We forgot about
Yes.
Canada. We forgot about
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked amazing the whole competition, except in the prelims and except in the finals. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened to the hair,
Yeah, her hair was mess. She was messy. Her hair.
but she was strong enough. I mean, we
she's
all
very
had her in our
strong.
lists. I don't know anybody who didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
I-
Brazil, did not make it. Mexico did not make it. Those powerhouses countries.
Mexico needs to go to Miss International. She was in the wrong pageant.
You think? Yeah.
Yes. That
Well,
look
no.
that she has with the dark hair, she has beautiful porcelain skin.
Yep.
Her look would go much better with International. There was certain girls that I think they were not grand. They were best suited for other pageants.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's saying no. Czech Republic is Tokuyo. No, she's not Tokuyo. No, because she was on everybody's list.
Czech
She was
Republic.
top 20.
She
Tokuyo
is.
is somebody. Tokuyo is a contestant who has a huge following. She's on everybody's list, but she did not make the cut. That's what Tokuyo means. But Czech Republic made the cut, so she's not Tokuyo. Okay.
Mhm.
By the way,
What
would you
can you
guys
say-
say that?
Go ahead now.
Do you think that this would be one of the best opening numbers ever?
Yes, that's not
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
opening number. Okay, I was mesmerized when when Isabella and the girls behind her came out wearing this humongous gold ball dress.
Mhm.
That was to me was amazing. Okay.
And that moment where she actually uses the
Drums.
sticks on the stage as a
Drumsticks,
drum,
yes.
it
Yeah.
was magical.
I have
That
to say,
But I still
High
preferred
five.
last year's.
you prefer last year.
Yeah, I did
I
not
think
like
the
this
stage was
year's well.
bigger. When you saw, Miss Grand 2021, she was elevated because of those stage. There was fireworks. There were drums. There were chairs. It was just more. I even preferred the dresses that the girls wore last year, green and gold, compared to what they wore this time.
Okay, so-
But I still have a pet peeve of almost taking an hour for the first introductions. I think that's too long. I feel that walk can be reduced a bit.
They could have
more-
shortened it. They could have shortened that walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was I the
Something-
only one dancing at that moment?
So
Yeah,
what?
I
They
think I
all
was.
the best music. You have to give it to them.
Let
Yeah.
Lenka, go.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that both of the numbers were amazing and choreography, and I just wanted to give a big high five and gratitude to the Creative Dance Studio in Thailand, which is creating these amazing numbers every year. And when you go to provincial rounds, they make choreographies and so on too. This is the hardest working team. They pick great songs, great choreographies and so on, and people forget to mention them, and I think they deserve
No,
the
they're
recognition.
amazing. Well done.
Totally. I totally agree.
And I love the host as well. The host is high energy, high octane,
Matthew Dean,
always
yes.
passionate,
Good looking, of course.
very, very good.
Mhm.
I mean, there
You
was
know,
a
he's
time.
actually host. Sorry.
There was a time that Miss World and the pageants were compared to the Olympics and FIFA, and these opening numbers remind me of the opening that you have for these events. This is what we need to get back a little more in pageantry. Lenka?
Yeah, I wanted to say Matthew Dean, he has that energy because actually here in Thailand, he's mostly hosting Muay Thai fights. So it's like in the red corner, you
That
are.
explains why he's
You
yelling.
know, like,
Okay. That explains.
and
What
you
do
know,
we think? What do we think of the performance by Engfa, who was awarded the Grand Voice 2022? She was first runner-up last year from Thailand. What do you think of her performance?
She can sing.
Well,
She can sing.
is banking. She can sing, and I'm gonna be
She can
honest
sing.
with you. I mean, she
But
got the memo,
I didn't like the song choice though. It was kind of like dull. It was kind of like somber.
but she got the memo.
Yeah.
She got the memo when she was Miss Grand Thailand. She fixed her attitude. She made the first runner up. She is banking. She did a great job in Miss Grand Thailand when she was passing the crown. She is one of the ones that is banking hand in hand. So I was like, you go, girl, you found the formula. And that's what's now what is looking. Somebody that can sing, can act, can entertain. And she's been doing that singing. She's been acting in Grand TV. It's like a lesbian series. I watched a couple of episodes. She's good.
Lesbian.
Yeah, you can go to Grand TV and you can see that. I mean, and that's that is the moment that's where he wanted queen that can do it all, that can catch the attention on everything. Now, what is being very clever, and I said it before, he is picking little pieces of pageants to literally dethrone them. He started with this, what was the golden era of Miss Universe. And now he's like, oh, let's put the talent portion like Miss World did, because he already had the speech. So, okay, so we add the speech, and then we have this from Miss Universe. Now the speech that normally Miss International do, or used to do, they put it here, and now let's put these competitions about the best body, the best media, the best talent. Let's introduce this, and it's gonna come to a point that Miss Grand is gonna become the number one pageant. It's gonna even dethrone Miss World. And that is hard to do, but at this point, if Miss World continue canceling the pageant, I mean, now what it's doing?
Well, I also think there are a lot of original elements as well.
Oh, many.
Like the golden grand crown.
Yeah.
For the national director.
Did you know that the live stream of MGI finals is
11.
the third what was that? Third mostly viewed live stream in the last 90 days.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Over 13 million views. What does that say about MGI? Is clearly more popular than Miss Universe.
It's working.
Yeah,
It's working.
People watch Miss MGI more than all the other pageants combined.
Yes.
Yeah, so MGI is number one. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. MGI is number one. It has officially overtaken Miss Universe as far as popularity and number of following goes.
It's important to have the KPI how do you judge number one? So yes, in terms of popularity, in terms of viewership, yes.
In terms of girls signing up to join their national pageants, for sure.
There is something interesting, Rafa, that Enrique said once when we started going to Miss Grand. He said, now what is really intelligent, he took what Miss Universe used to be and converted it into Miss Grand.
Exactly.
And this is why it's so popular, because pageant fans love the competition, the big show, the big production, the choreography, the runway that Miss Universe is no longer giving us.
Right. And you know what? Not only that, but you know, with the new management, with Conan being the new owner of Miss Universe, I think this is my impression. You know, I mean, I've always loved Miss Universe. I mean, I started out criticizing Miss Universe back in the day. But through the years, it has really become much worse. I think the reason why Miss Universe has lost a lot of following is because their philosophy, they're actually forcing pageant fans to think like them. And I don't like that. I really don't like a pageant organization forcing me to believe or to embrace their values. Ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, okay? Here I am, a gay male. I have my own chemicals in my brain that tell me who I prefer to be a beauty queen. You cannot tell me to like or to crown Miss Universe Nepal. There's no way.
I do. But
There's no
Rafa,
way.
one thing.
Wait. I didn't hear
Compared to
that,
Miss
Rafa. What
Universe
did you just say?
Thailand. There's
Rafa,
no way
one
for
thing.
me. If you were to invite me to judge Miss Universe, I'm not going to pick Miss Universe Nepal as one of my favorites.
Why?
Because she's not my body type. I don't like her body type. I'm not.
You had Miss Thailand who was the
I'm not
curvy.
attracted. I don't care about her talent. I only care about what she looks primarily. We're talking about the original concept of Miss Universe. I'm not talking about Conan's vision of Miss Universe. Okay, I'm talking about the original concept, the Donald Trump vision of Miss Universe. That's what I'm used to. Okay, so
That's gone. That's dead. And Conan's changed
but-
it with everything.
but
You
that's
have
why
men
that's
competing
what
now.
Miss Grand International picked up. That's why I'm attracted to Miss Grand International. People
Rafa,
like me are following MGI, you know, in droves instead of Miss Universe.
One thing, Rafa, because you know, usually 30 million on YouTube is smashing, is amazing. But a lot of people say that Miss Grand is not big because they don't have television. And I'm thinking, who watches television today? I think only my grandma.
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
No.
Everybody's watching everything on their mobile devices, on their
Yes.
laptops, on their phones. You're watching everything on demand. You're not watching network television
Mhm.
Exactly.
anymore. So we doesn't need, you don't need network television, which is limiting your airtime. Like if you're
Exactly.
doing it on demand, if you're doing it on YouTube or Roku or whatever, the show stays there for you to rewatch. If you are depending on a network, the show disappears. And then you don't watch it again, and someone uploads it to YouTube, and then it gets taken down because you have no copyright. So it's much better to have it on social media. Your audience is going to be way bigger.
Well,
Way bigger.
exactly, because the public can actually engage with you on social media doing a live stream or doing a live telecast, and that explains all these live chats. That's exactly what we're doing right now. People who watch us, they keep commenting. They're saying, "Emma, thank you for standing up for true beauty." See, Emma, you have a fan. Okay.
Well, I like
You
the
guys.
Nepal
No,
too, you know
it's
that.
a fact, Rafa. I'll tell you something. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but you know, if Conan is bringing the whole thing into a hodgepodge, it's become a kitchity right now with every contestant of every form joining in. Now we got two options. Either we hate it or we embrace it. All right. Now Trump is gone. Trump is an idiot. All right. So he is just forget
That's
about that. That era
debatable.
is dead. Yeah, but I mean, we're in India. He's an idiot. So then the fact is that if you are going to have all these sort of women, are they going to be judged fairly? This is what I told Guru in the last show. Are they going to be judged fairly? And I want to see if it's going to be an advocacy that they're going to be representing, and that's what they're going to be judged on. It has to be very, very fair. How much of beauty and how much real beauty? You're having trans women. Why can't you have a curvy woman? Miss Nepal is very strong. She is a threat. I do agree. She does not look the type that we usually are accustomed to, but does that make her less of a strong contestant than everybody else? No, it doesn't. Or
But
a girl in a
I
bikini,
don't
or
find
a
her facially attractive, Emma. I don't find her facially
know.
attractive.
But Rafa, you're not the judge,
Rafa,
so
I
it
know
depends
it's
on who the
not-
judge
I'm not
is going to
attractive.
be.
We all have our flaws. Everybody is flawed in this world. We are unique with whatever we have. I've got a big ass, all right? She's got a big nose, all right? You've got a funny nose. Everyone has problems. I mean, call us. Come
Well,
on, be
fine,
realistic on
fine.
each other.
show me the criteria. What are the criteria for
There
judgment?
is a criteria now in Miss Universe. Conan's
Is
messed
that-
it all up.
it
That's what
will-
I'm saying. So we have to start embracing it and start loving the fact that, okay, you know what? This is what she's going to do. Let's be okay with it. I'm more concerned about fair
Okay, let's
judging.
crown the ugliest girl then. Who's the
No,
ugliest girl? Miss
Rafa.
Universe?
Okay, I mean,
Don't
can I
say
just
that.
make
Is
2
ugly,
points?
Rafa.
Don't say
Nobody
that.
is ugly on this planet. One second. Nobody is ugly on this planet. Everybody's made unique. You have your characteristics of your genetics, of your family. I have my father's nose. I have my mother's eyes. These are things you embrace and you should be happy with what you have. What are you going to be saying? Oh, she's not beautiful. There's nobody ugly on this planet. Let's
Oh,
get
yes,
one
there
thing
are.
right here.
Yes,
No,
there are.
ugly
Yes,
is a
there
very,
are.
very wrong negative word. And to say that, it's ridiculous. And you want to embrace yourself by saying, I'm perfect, but she's not perfect. There is no perfection. This is samsara. It is messed up. It is supposed to be imperfect. Imperfection is a reality. Perfection is an illusion. Please understand that. Okay, so this is what we talk about, and we want to see that in pageants. And if you're going to make it all inclusive, you have to upgrade your mind, upgrade your consciousness. You cannot be thinking like this is ugly, that's pretty. Finished. I do not agree on that. Sorry, guys. Edwin, sorry, sweetheart. Please go
No,
ahead.
No,
That's
no, the
fine.
problem.
That's
Rafa,
fine.
I just wanted to ask if we're done with MGI, because what Emma just said is the whole point that I wanted to talk about universe, the inclusivity that is being going on. So I don't know, are we done with the MGI? Do you,
I think
anybody
we
wants
passed
to wrap it
MGI.
up?
No, I'm done with MGI.
I'm
No, hold on.
What do you mean?
No,
I'm
hold
done with MGI. MGI just started.
No,
Yeah.
I meant the topic.
MGI
The
is the
topic.
new Miss Universe. Hello.
No, Rafa,
But
Yeah,
I meant
conversation.
I meant the topic because
You
we're
moved to
supposed
the
to talk about Miss Universe too.
Okay,
So
got
I
it.
don't know if we're gonna move
So we're
on
done with
already.
MGI. Okay, let's talk about Miss
I'm
Universe
asking.
now. Let's talk about Miss
Well,
Universe.
one thing that
Because-
I wanted to say is that somebody commented that NGI would never be better, will replace Miss Universe because of the legacy. This is 2023. Businesses, in order to stay relevant, they need to be on point. Doesn't matter. This is a business. You can have a legacy, but one day you can be in the top, the next day you can be in the bottom. So with that being said, we're not talking about the legacy of Miss Universe from the past. We're talking about Miss Universe right now. It's not Miss International. In the past, it was a nice cultural event. Now it's boring as it is. Even Miss Friendship was more relevant in China, and these girls were having fun. And I remember Miss Friendship over Miss International, and that is sad. But then again, MGI came, is 11th edition, and is doing wonders. So doesn't matter it's not about longevity anymore, sadly to say, or legacy. Is about that what are you doing to stay relevant? And Miss Universe is not being relevant. About what Rafa says now, jumping in Miss Universe, Rafa said about Miss Universe want to push the rules to you to believe it.
Right.
I'm 50%, 75% agree with that. I'm only 75 because I'm with Emma with the other part. Although Nepal, okay, this is the thing. Thailand sent a curvy, beautiful girl, and she was beautiful. Her body was in the right proportion. I don't mind if you're a full figure model, and I said it before, but if you're a full figure, those measurements, have a nice shape. That's what I'm talking about. And that's my opinion. If we have a full figure queen, I want to see a nice shape as a full figure because we've seen it before in the catwalk and unseen. Thailand, when they sent the first full figure queen, she was gorgeous. I have her in my list. Nepal, in the other hand, and I'm gonna be honest with them, everybody have their own body type. That's true. She came with the mission. She won Nepal, but when I saw her recently, maybe it's the pictures. I think she even gained more weight. She's not worried about that, and she's resting on that. Beautiful. But then again, we're in a time that we need to showcase that you need to love your body the way that you are, but then you need to be healthy as well. And sadly to say, we still, some people, because I work in cardiology, and there's some people that they feel that whoever is going to love me is going to love me. I'm going to eat 45,000 pizzas, and it's like this. And sadly to say, people don't follow beauty pageants. They only see what they see for the first time. what is this girl full figure competing in a beauty pageant? So that's the best example for me. I can be fat, because that's what they're going to think. They're not promoting healthiness. Although there's some people that are full figure that is because of the genetics and they can be healthy. Nepal is beautiful. She's not a strong full figure model, body queen compared to Thailand. And I know people are gonna ask, well, what about Canada when she went to Miss Universe and she was full figure too and she made it to the finalists? Canada was lazy. She gained weight. She won skinny. And when she went to the Philippines, I think it was the Philippines when Katrina passed her crown, she gained weight. So she didn't want full figure in Nepal or Thailand. So you see, there's a message, there's some things that we need to be clear. I'm all about inclusiveness, but there's a fine line that you don't cross. And I don't like what Mami Ann is doing right now, that want to open the doors for everybody to be Miss Universe, all ages and whatever. There's a time and place for everything. Pageantry, we have pageants for everything. I don't mind a full figure, but please, if you're gonna have a full figure, I want your skin to be on point and be tight, because I see girls that are very curvy, very full figure, and their skin is flawless. That skin is tight. I don't want to see a full figure that when they're walking, they have 3 bellies in the front and moon craters on the back, like I can see Saturn. I don't want to see that on the TV. That doesn't sell. I'm sorry. It's a business.
You're right, Louis, sweetie, you're right on that. And I'll tell you what, Miss Thailand, I think time of Harnas, she was a curvy girl, but she was not confident. She lacked confidence. I was kind of happy that, okay, we're seeing a full-figured woman. She was not at all confident. So she did not advocate curvy girls like us, like, all right, she's on stage. Why I love it. I'm not saying Nepal is going to win at all. I'm not saying she's going to come top 5, but I'm saying she is a strong contender because she's got a strong voice. That's what I'm saying. But I agree with the fact that we don't want to see, like, you know, obese women or women that can't do a photo shoot properly or can't represent a brand they have to endorse once they win. I agree on that. But Nepal is working with her confidence. That's what I love about her. So yes, she is flawed. She's not a perfect beauty. There's so many strong contestants this year. It's going to be a bloodbath. We talk about that. But the fact is that we cannot dismiss her just because she doesn't have that look on the face. But she is in a swimsuit and she looks okay. I'm just saying okay here, but then again, I'm not going to discriminate her for the fact that she's curvy. That's my point here, right? So I agree with you, Louise, of what you're saying, and that makes complete sense to what I was trying to say. But I got angry and upset. I'm sorry, you guys got it was a little loud. It's because you used the word ugly, and no one is ugly. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. I've had so many surgery scars.
As a gay male,
am I ugly? You know, you just. The life is
Emma,
tough. Life is difficult.
I didn't say you're ugly. You're not ugly. You're gorgeous.
Emma, you're gorgeous. You're a destiny girl. I told you from the first time I met you.
You have
gorgeous.
You have the most beautiful eyes, darling. I just wish you get rid of that stupid bangs. Get rid of it.
No, that she is gorgeous, and I said that the first time I met both of them. I said she's a destiny girl. Pageant Guru, he's super handsome, but she is gorgeous. I said it the first time I met them. I said that Lenka is so good. Lenka, the edge is up. You can go to Miss Universe. Now that clicks on my head. Now you can go to Miss Universe.
Rafa, kindly ask Emma to take her pills.
I don't take pills, sweetheart. I take scotch, babes.
Don't mess with my Emma. She's my girl.
Lenka, darling. Let's Lenka speak.
I just wanted to say with the body figure and so on, I think what I wanted to add is I don't mind curvy girls, but I want to see that they exercise, because in the end, the winner, the girls are looking up to them. So if you have a curvy girl who is eating unhealthy, it's not exercising, not taking care of her health, you know, and it's going to result in heart problems, diabetes, and so on, then you are telling all of the people this is cool, you know, you can be unhealthy. The same way as I don't want the winners to be too skinny, because again, it's like making the girls to starve to look like that. So it's about like, just show us your healthy lifestyle, so you are gonna inspire women around the world. And when it came to Thailand and Scott Chemis, she had that figure where she was plus size and not plus size, but she was, you know, curvy, but she was exercising. But, you know, when you said she was lacking confidence, she wasn't lacking confidence. Everybody here in Thailand knew that she pretty much said to her friends that her goal was to be crowned Miss Universe Thailand because she wanted the popularity here, but she didn't want it to win Miss Universe because she didn't want it to leave Thailand. So she achieved her goal and she kind of self-sabotaged herself because she just did not want the title.
Edwin wanted to say something a little earlier. Can we give him a chance to speak?
I'm sorry,
first-
Edwin.
No, first, it's okay. It's okay. First, that I see people complaining that we're talking about Miss Universe, but this was part of the program today. I think, Rafa, you just failed to mention it on the topic. But I see that they think that we deviated the topic, but we didn't. Just as I said, the thing with Japan, that they're going to stay white as long as they have their same owners. Miss Universe, even though it is owned by Kun-An, is still an American company. As an American company, they have to keep with American way of thinking, lifestyle, and the woke movement that they want to cater by accepting people of all sizes, all shapes, all kinds of women, empowerment, and all things that try to deviate from the concept everybody has that pageants objectify women. I don't see anything wrong with that. My problem is that by trying to stay woke, they're trying to ignore the beautiful part, or saying that being beautiful and making money out of your beauty is bad. It is not. That's the problem I have with Miss Universe. Having said that, if they want to be inclusive, and this is what Emma said earlier, are these girls like Ricky, the transgender, or Marina, or Jade, are they going to be judged fairly, or are they just going to be there for show? Because that's what they did with Angela Ponce in 2018. We have a transgender contestant. We're so proud, but you know, you end up 79, honey. So I want to see, if you're going to be inclusive, be really inclusive. I mean, have one of these girls in the finals and see what happens, because you cannot be inclusive and have them as filler when you have like top 16 finalists, and some of these girls, especially Ricky, who I love and adore, should have the same chance to compete for the crown. But I don't know what's going to happen.
But let me add to what Emma was saying earlier. First and foremost, I don't hate Trump. I do find some of his things inspirational. But on the other side, I do feel that, if Ashley Graham was in this show, she could have won.
Yes.
So
Yes,
it's not the plus size we have a problem with. At the end of it, the plus size has to have some sort of limit, because how healthy is it? And if you're trying to break a mold of beauty, you have to tell the full story. So, we just don't need to see somebody who's plus size. We want to see what she's eating. How is she taking care of herself? Is she really healthy? And that's when she can be an inspiration. I don't think that is something anybody wants to show, and that is definitely not healthy. But you need to be able to address all of these issues. Just coming up with whatever you have and saying that my confidence is going to carry me all the way through, just because it's confidently beautiful as a tag, I don't think that's enough, because there are different categories of judgment. There is the personality, there is the way you speak, and there is also the way you physically look. So you also have to consider if you're breaking a mold of beauty, you have to be able to be something that actually can captivate the people's attention. Like Ashley Graham, every time I see her, I'm in awe. And she's plus size. I think I would be happy to see her as Miss Universe. So I'm not going to take a final conclusion on Nepal because the competition hasn't started. Maybe she saved the best for last. So I'm going to watch her very closely. And if she delivers, I would be happy to support her. But yes, Rafa, I do not agree that she's ugly.
But Melvyn,
yeah.
I'm so sorry, with all respect, but you mentioned somebody that I admire from the fashion industry, working in Fashion Week every year. That's what I see. That's what I work. Ashley Graham is a perfect example to be a beautiful full figure, body, normal woman. But somebody said here, I want to see a full figure model that works out. That's what I want to see too. But some of these people, some of these girls is like because there's some models that I work with or pageant girls. Oh, it's inclusive. I don't need to work. I don't need to work out and be healthy. I don't. And that's when I see that laziness. That's kind of like, you know what? Get out of my face. I don't want you as an example for other girls that they have problems with their thyroid. Like my sister, she has thyroid problems. She was an athlete, and after her pregnancy, she had thyroid problems. It's not like she doesn't eat healthy. My sister eats super healthy, but she have a medical condition, but she takes care of herself. So there's other people that if it's health related, I understand. But when you see these girls that they're just eating pizza 24/7, they're lazy, they need to accept me. That is the problem that I have. But again, Nepal, we'll see what is being. My concern is this. Are they going to include certain people in the finals just to say Miss Universe is better than Miss Grand because we believe in inclusiveness? Because I'm sorry, Angela Ponce for me is the epitome of a transgender beauty queen. She did her job in my eyes. She was very professional and still. And if you're going to be a transgender like her, welcome aboard. But if you're going to be just a transgender like Miss Continental or a gay pageant, on which they just stay over there. The thing is that I will not add a favorite just because you represent something. I wouldn't. That cannot be forced because if you're gonna left behind candidates that are well deserved for their job, but they just want to put these people because it's gonna attract masses, then do everything continental per continent. I say, okay, per continent, this is my people. But Miss Universe is getting out of hand because I'm telling you right now, I've been seeing too many pictures of pregnant women auditioning in the national pageants. I cannot wait to see somebody age 50.
Yeah,
competing.
it's a big turn off for me personally. It's pretty gross.
Mhm.
Moving on. Noemi, people are
Yes.
asking, why did you say Peru would not win MGI in your on the last group chat? Could you please explain?
Well, easily. Okay. Before you attack me.
Oh,
I
please
have my
attack her.
reasons. Okay. I didn't see her as a winner, period. I didn't see her. And I didn't think that this year they were going to repeat a country, right? Because again, the past 10 years he has not repeated. So that's why I said Peru. I didn't see Peru winning because I don't think Nawat was going to repeat this year. But again, he repeated, which is great because then it gives, now we know those who have won crowns, we know that now it's game on, right?
Mhm.
And, we know that now we have a chance. Before, we didn't. Every national director that has won a crown knew that he was not repeating crowns. So we were sending strong delegates, but, it was like the thing that we already knew. We thought, and honestly, if you ask, because we have a group chat, all the directors, we all thought that it was going to go to European country. I even said it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody thought, and even within the national directors thought that it was going to go to Europe because Europe came with strong delegates this year. Okay. I think it's the first time that there's like a strong delegation of European women competing in Grand this year. And we were like saying, it's time for Europe to win. It's just time. And then, again, flip, but then there was the possibility of when he now what said, well, it's about business. Okay, so if it's about business and numbers, then the only two girls that had the business and the numbers that he was looking for was obviously Peru and Myanmar.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And I even thought when they were holding hands, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be Myanmar. Because if you really add up the numbers, Myanmar had more numbers than Peru.
Mhm.
Plus, she was winning all the popular votes.
Right.
She won country power, what is it, power country or whatever,
Power of the
you
year,
know, power of the year and all that. So I'm like, this girl could actually, I think it's Miramar. And then when they go Peru, I was like, wow, okay, they repeated. So all the national directors were shocked. We're shocked, first of all, because Colombia was second runner-up, obviously, because we didn't see that coming. We all thought that maybe if she was not going to win, she was going to be at least first runner-up, at least first runner-up.
True.
You know, that was the minimal that they would give the Colombia. But then they, you know, she second runner-up, okay. Then when you see these two girls with all these followings, then you're like, okay, it's what he said. It's all about business. So it's nothing personal about Peru. You know, I didn't like Peru. For me, I didn't see her as a winner, opposed to other girls that I did see as winners. For me, I loved Netherlands. I always said I loved Miramar, because I thought Miramar, not only that she's beautiful, she's super sweet. I loved the way that she competed. And in prelims, for me, she was the only one that looked regal and elegant and a queen in that dress and the cape. And she gave it to me. You know, she took my breath away, because I love that old style, you know, beauty queen elegance with the hair pulled up. The dress, it was simple but perfect to her body. You know, the cape added that grand, you know, show, and she competed fabulously. So you all need to get some Xanax and calm down.
May I interject here, because I'm gonna say something. You know how I get Rafa, and I'm sorry for gonna call somebody out. Jocelyn Andrews, she said that Noemi is only hating because Luciana is more beautiful than her Cuba girl. First of all, I don't know who you are. All of the girls in Grand are beautiful. Don't mess with my girl. Because Sofia Costa did a great job, and she's beautiful inside and outside. What Noemi said, and everybody said, is that the information that she had, and this is not the channel to spill the beans, but that comment is uncolorful. You cannot insult the beauty of somebody just because you think that Peru is more beautiful. Beauty is relevant. Sofia Costa did her job, and you're messing with my girl. Number two, Peru said in the interview that she have contracts, because Teresa asked, do you have contracts? And she said yes, and that would be a conflict of interest. So if Peru didn't win Miss Grand, and she would be like first one up, more likely because of her contracts in Peru, she would not be able to be with Miss Grand. But now she got the big crown, she is abided by that contract. But don't attack the beauty and say that we are jealous. Any person here in this live is jealous because our contestant make it or didn't win. Don't insult nobody's contestant beauty. Sofia Costa is beautiful. India is beautiful. Czech Republic is beautiful. Philippines is beautiful. So how dare you to say that somebody's jealous here just because Cuba was less beautiful than Peru? Because girl, I'm gonna tell you right now one thing. There were girls that they were more beautiful, facially speaking, than a lot of people that were in the top 20 and didn't make it. So don't say that ever again about a woman. Okay, Jocelyn Andrews, I hope you have a good, beautiful night when you sleep. Sorry, Rafa.
No, that's fine. This is what the chat is all about. You know, we bring all the best of
loving it.
human nature.
Yeah, can I actually like say something too? Like I actually had her in the first place because I was like breaking my head into like who's gonna win, who's gonna win. I was going ballistic. You saw it 2 weeks ago. And you know, the last couple of days before it, I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? But she does have that follower. She's gonna make the brand grow. She's gonna push for it. She's gonna get more followers. And then she was very, very relatable. Whenever I was watching her and she was talking, I really could relate to her. And then she made me feel good. She made me feel like a reachable queen. While, you know, I was always saying like Colombia is not gonna win, and people are like, why are you saying it? And I say, I feel like she's like a perfect robot. Like she came in and she learned the sentences, the things to say to score the points. but I never felt like I can relate to her, like I could be her friend or something. And it's funny because my friend even said, hey, I went and I took pictures with the top 10. All of the top 10 girls were super sweet. The only girl who dissed me was Colombia. You know what I mean? So, but also I think all of the girls were beautiful. And for me, I'm from Czech Republic, but I travel all around the world. I'm a world citizen. So I don't root for any country. I always root for the girl I believe is like the best. And for me, this year was Netherlands. You know, people don't mention her name
For me too.
enough, but
Me too.
that girl was so disciplined, always on time. She had a fever and she showed up to interview and singing. She was
Yes.
on a stage, she was promoting the sponsors and so on. The only thing that was standing in her way was the sash factor, that she came from a small country and so on. And the beautiful thing is, after the announcement, when a lot of people said, oh, well, she deserved top 5. And I said it to her, she said, you know what, no, I'm absolutely happy with my placement because I come from such a little country with so little followers. So for me to get to top 10, it's a victory. And she said, the first thing I want to focus on is to
Very
learn
humble,
everything about
yeah.
Miss Grand, because I want to learn and absorb it so I can help my organization to prepare the next contestant to reach even higher. And that to me is a queen, because she doesn't think about herself, her fame and money.
Exactly.
She's thinking about her organization, you know, the next girls and so on. That's a beauty.
Yes.
And
Bravo,
I'm happy that
Melvyn.
Peru won because I have her in my top just to let Miss Jasmine know that I was one of the few that said that Peru was the one to win. But everybody thought that this country Europe, and I was hoping that Netherlands wins. I think Europe is doing a great job. Czech Republic, Netherlands, she was the one to beat in from Europe, because this is the thing that people doesn't realize. The famous France, they don't study the pageant. Now, what always love to play with the mental game, mental minds, those that you keep you in the shell. But that is the reason why everybody, all of us, I think, were exhausted at the end of Grand. I had no energy. I was like, okay, this is mental, and I'm not there, so I cannot imagine what is going on with these contestants. But this is the thing. Peru won. She was my pick between Colombia and Peru. Peru won, well deserved, and I even said it at the beginning. Peru didn't answer her final question. She stumbled, but they evaluated the whole performance, and
Overall,
that's how she won.
Right.
Because if we're based on final question, Peru don't have a new golden crown.
Exactly.
Wasn't her. Let's be objective. And Peru have the 2 crowns right now within NGR. But if we're gonna talk about powerhouse, will be Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico is the only country that qualifies since the beginning, never missed a spot. 11 qualifications, and it's the only country as of right now that made it to the finalists, semifinalists, finalists, and top 5. So we're going to talk about the powerhouse in MGI will be Puerto Rico, because they have the most finalists. So that's it, because we were talking about Miss Universe, but I hate people trying to fight and bring things like that. I don't know.
We also have to bring about Dominican Republic also did not have many followers. I think she was also up there completely on merit, you know. So I do think overall Grand does acknowledge the girls that are good at heart, who have a good spirit, and who are hard workers.
Yeah,
I
Angola.
do feel the
You can say the same thing with
acknowledgement.
Angola as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And Nigeria. Ooh,
Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah. And France. France doesn't have any numbers. So where did she come from? So to me, that was like the WTF of the whole thing. So where did France come from? So is it safe to assume that the top 5, you know, in Miss Grand International, you know, from now on going forward, all those top 5 girls will either have huge number of following on their social media, correct? Like in this case, Peru. So it is possible for Peru to win back-to-back next year, depending on the Peruvian representatives' numbers next year. It's possible,
I don't think so. I honestly think, I don't think so. I think this year was about business. I think he likes to, you know, last year it was because, you know, Brazil really killed it. Let's be real. I mean, she competed. So look at the rest of the pageants. There is some girls that won because of business, some won because of merit, some won because of business, some won because of merit. So it does go like this.
See, he's added another B this year, and he did say he's going to add another B next year. So,
My God.
so we
So
will
let's
have to see what the fifth
body,
B is.
brain, business,
Bitchiness.
boldness.
Bubbly.
Boldness, bubbly. I don't know. I'm gonna start looking for all the B's. Oh my God, this man, but he's intelligent. This is kind of funny. It's supposed to be
How about bizarre?
Bizarre. Okay.
Bizarre.
I like, but this is kind of funny. Look how MGI is powerful. We were talking about Miss Universe, and we're backing MGI.
You know, on those grounds, we started speaking about Miss Universe, and we spoke so long about Miss Nepal.
Yeah.
We'll have an entire chat strictly on Miss Universe Nepal. Okay.
I don't think we should do that. You're gonna lose followers, Rafa, if you do.
You know, I think we are just being too cruel. The competition has not yet started, and we need to give that girl a fair chance to compete before we make our decisions.
I think.
No, let's be
most of us have
obvious.
already
It's
made
a
our
gimmick. I
decision.
think Rafa. I think we all know it's a gimmick. Nepal, the trans woman, the pregnant woman, the married woman, all
The
this is a
married
gimmick.
woman. Yeah.
I don't think it's just there because she wants to feel that she's doing something different. So this is going to be a big deal for Kunan to put up a good show. Let's see how well she does in El Salvador, because we have really, really high hopes. She's taken over, and this is a legacy she's going to start for herself. So
But the
now it's
mothers
not
are
gonna be-
strong. The mothers
it's
are
not,
strong in
it's
this
not going to be all
contest.
business
They
with
are.
her. Like Guru and I have discussed this. It's not going to be all business with Kunan. She is going to be fair. I feel she's going to be fair. However, with the inclusive and the age thing, it's a clear gimmick. We are going to see a beautiful, stunning winner, I feel, physically and mentally as well. I don't think it's going to be any of these girls that are coming, which are obviously annoying us a bit, irritating us a bit as well, and also keeping us kind of like enlightened, like, oh, okay, it's an upgrade. It's not an upgrade, guys. I just feel it's a gimmick. We're gonna
No,
see
I think the
a
mothers are
straightforward-
strong. I really think the mothers are strong. in
Why? Why are
Which
they
one?
strong?
They
I'm
are.
sorry,
Colombia.
Melvyn.
Colombia
The
is
mothers.
strong.
Actually.
Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah,
Yes.
but see, again,
But
they won't
guys,
be, I don't think
if
they're going to be
I-
judged on that. They might represent
I'm
where
a-
they're coming from,
it's-
but
it's-
they're not going to be judged on that. Go ahead, Guru.
So it's been a year since Anne took over. She took over on 26th, because I remember 25th was Miss Grand, and the next day this announcement came. And we've seen so much that's happened, right? She's got more business into it. She talks about platform. She talks about people. She talks about the pageant. She talks about the products. And she's done all these changes at the same time, right? So there's a bit of, you don't know whether this will work or not. I just hope that we can hold on to our horses and see how this evolves, rather than coming and saying, okay, this is not going to work, this will work. To Ed's point, yes, I really want, when we talk of inclusivity, to have people there not for namesake, but to actually progress ahead into the pageant, and then see how the judges are able to fairly. And that's where, normally Paula used to give a speech to all the judges as to how to evaluate those contestants. What is the criteria where you will have a curvaceous woman, and you'll have a mom, and you'll have a transgender woman? How are they going to be parity in, comparing these? Because it is a competition. She's also mentioned that she would get the scoring board back. And if she does that, it's going to be great. It's something that the pageant fans as Miss Universe always loved, because it was giving transparency in what exactly each judge is. In fact, even today, I go back and see, okay, which judge, for example, gave what score. And we've seen many a times certain countries where the judges were clearly favoring, certain contestants from their own countries, versus giving bizarre scores to people who they didn't want to progress. I would love to have that transparency, because when you jumble up things so much to understand what's the method in madness, it's important to have those scores come up, So that's my view. We've got so many products. I'm going to be very excited to taste that Miss Universe water if we ever get to see that or hear that. But yeah, I'm quite excited. It's going to be less than 24 days. So I'm quite happy on that.
Yeah.
And I hope it's going to be continental type, because the way they're showing the leaders in the fan vote, maybe it's going to be continental based. If that's the case, I don't know, but we need to know the format as well. That's equally important. Because I think in one of the interviews, she said that there's not going to be any eliminations on swimsuits per se. But a cut from top 15 to top 5 is too drastic for us to know how that actually works.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Cruel.
I don't like that.
No, it should be at least like, 15 to 10 and then 10 to 5.
Yeah.
The tradition.
I just feel there should be 20. 15 is still too less.
Yeah.
I just feel I love 2018 where you had the 3 continents, and I do feel Asia and Africa and Asia should not be together. They should be separate. I think they have their equally strong contestants, and a wild card always to get the whole element of what they want to favor. So I'm quite excited for this.
I think the combination of the continents only happened to keep the number of contestants in each batch equal.
Correct.
They try to keep it well balanced. That's the only reason why the continent, because otherwise there are, one group has very few contestants. Let's say in some year, if only 2 contestants come out of Africa, how will you pick 5? So I think that's the reason why.
That's a good job there. They have actually good number of countries which are represented across all the continents. So it really helps.
Yeah. But they don't have a swimsuit round.
But they have a beach beauty as one of their...
Not anymore.
Not anymore? I'm not sure. They used to have it till at least...
There's no Miss World anyway.
Okay. Well, as you know, some of the Miss Universe contestants have started departing their countries to travel to El Salvador. And so that part to me is very exciting, just to see their outfits, like Miss Thailand, Miss Universe Thailand. How many suitcases did she bring?
60.
I thought it was more than 60. I swear to God, there was a photo of the guy.
60.
Yeah, somebody, I said 60 on one of these posts, and somebody tried to correct me. No, that is a mirror. She's only bringing like 10. Yeah, but it looks like 60 to me. So I don't know.
But there was a post that mentioned 60.
Okay, if it's 60 only for 8 days, what is
in one day, she had 3 different outfit changes just in one day. When she left the hotel, when she arrived at the airport, and when she hopped on the plane. So 3 outfit changes.
And many of them are because of the sponsors as well. Many of them are because of the sponsors. Mostly in Thailand, we've seen the sponsors give a lot of things. Like she's traveling through, I think, Turkish Airlines. So there would be another trousseau change when she's sitting on the first class seat, showcasing products. So I think it's part of business.
No, but I also feel like, having been a part of the process, there are some designers that, give you such elaborate gowns, which are ball gowns, and it takes up the entire suitcase. So maybe sometimes it's just one suitcase for one gown.
Or maybe her costume has been broken down to small pieces, different suitcases and stuff. So okay, interesting. Now, okay, so who hasn't said their Miss Universe favorites yet?
All of us.
All of us. Nobody.
Only Pageant Empress said it.
Okay, I'll start. Okay, I'll start. These are my favorites so far. I don't know if you guys like South Africa, but I love South Africa. I mean, she has improved tremendously. Her body, her swimsuit body is amazing. I mean, she's really bringing in, Thailand, of course, she's still my favorite for the winner. And Nicaragua, I don't know if you guys like Nicaragua, Shanice Palacios, the best Nicaraguan delegate so far. Yes. I'm going to put in Philippines, even though I don't like her facially, but I think she has a special factor to bring to the table. USA, my girl, of course, I love USA. Puerto Rico is strong. Colombia, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Canada, Mexico, Singapore. People are forgetting Singapore. Korea, I think she's amazing. Chile, El Salvador, of course, Lebanon, beautiful, gorgeous, stunning girl. Australia, another Jennifer Hawkins lookalike. France, one of the most beautiful faces, Diane Lair. Namibia, Jamaica, and India. Those are my favorites for the time being. Who's next?
Okay.
Billy.
This is my pick right now, as of right now. Spain, Thailand is a strong contender. her supra sister, Puerto Rico, South Africa, beautiful, Nicaragua, France, Dominican Republic, India, Mexico, Vietnam, Colombia, Sash Factor, I have USA, Venezuela. I don't like Philippines, but I have her there. And I added El Salvador just because when we talk about it, Miss El Salvador, I was the one that said that I only saw her, I only have one glance, and I said the favorite needs to be careful because this girl might win, and she won over the favorite for El Salvador. And Magali Febres did her job. Her body transformed. She looked more fresh. So I have a feeling that she might make the cut. But now when the concentration starts, everything can change.
Well, I heard that she's the president's girlfriend. Is that true?
Well, and I don't know. I haven't received that email yet from her, but I'll let you know because he was contacting me too, just to let you know on the download.
Who's
All
next?
the gay guys want something from her.
Who's next? Okay, Noemi, go.
Okay. Puerto Rico, Thailand, Dominican Republic, USA, Colombia, Venezuela, France, Nicaragua, Mexico, El Salvador, because she is going to place.
Of course.
And Chile.
Okay, good choices. Good choices. Who's next?
Can I?
Guru, go.
Okay, so I have it by continents, and I have my top 3 in each. So for the Americas, it's Puerto Rico, Nicaragua, and Mexico. For Asia, it's Philippines, Thailand, and India. For Africa and the Middle East, it is South Africa, Bahrain, and Mauritius. For Europe, it is France, Great Britain, and Spain.
All right, good choices. I've totally forgot about the Josh Hugan girls. Egypt, Pakistan, and Bahrain.
And
But
Bahrain.
Bahrain is Asia, though.
Bahrain is Asia, but I think Pakistan to me is the prettiest of the 3.
It's the prettiest, yeah.
She is
prettiest, yeah.
fantastic. Can I go
Who's
next?
Go ahead, Emma.
Nicaragua. I love her hair. I love her. She's fantastic. She's beautiful. Great Britain, Jessica Page. I love her. I want this girl to come up. I mean, I am a big fan of her for a long time. And yes. All right. So this is it. Josh Hugan did absolutely fantastic with these 3 zones. Pakistan. So I actually have all 3 of them on my list. Bahrain, Pakistan, and Egypt.
Okay.
Mahira is amazing. Miss Egypt is a stunner. Beautiful skin tone. Love her. So yeah, all 3 of them. Philippines, love her new hair. I know a lot of you are hating on that, but I love the fact that she's embracing short hair. You don't have to have luscious hair to be beautiful. So yes, she's definitely there. France, Mexico, India, for the fact that I think she is an entertainer and she will be noticed, but I don't see her progressing very far, to be honest. This year, we might have not made it properly. So I'm kind of sad about that. We're a little weak because they're very, very strong girls out there right now. So yeah, and then we don't know who's going to stun us. So for the moment, this is it. Miss Bahrain, Lujain Yakub. Oh, she's my winner for now. So yeah, let's see.
Good choices. Mel, you're next.
Okay, I have my top 5 for sure. And that is Thailand, Puerto Rico is my top 2. Okay. And then completing the top 5 for now, I have Dominican Republic, USA, and Nicaragua. Okay. The rest of them are not in any particular order. I have Philippines, Colombia, Venezuela, Lebanon, Argentina, Great Britain, Namibia, South Africa, Chile, Australia, France, Peru, India, El Salvador, and Bahrain.
All right, good choices. Good choices. Lenka, darling.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have put so much attention to Grant that I have been a little bit lacking on doing my research on Universe. But I also told myself I'm gonna really put my mind into Universe once I know the girls are going there. Because with Kun and not being able to make a payments and stuff, I was like, is it even gonna happen?
Yeah.
But like so far from what I have seen, I actually have to say, yeah, Pakistan is really beautiful. I really love France. I like Philippines because of the hairstyle. I think it's different and unique and so on. But Thailand might be like, you guys all knew I was a Veena all the way through, you know, like
Me
Veena
too.
Marina, it's just
Me too,
like
yeah.
my girl. So I was very disappointed when Antonia won. But I gotta say, it would be a very interesting headliner if she would win the Miss Universe, because she would be the first woman in history to have 2 Grand Slam titles.
That's true.
So that could bring attention to Miss Universe and so on. So this is so far what I have, but I'm gonna study. So next time I'll put more in.
Okay. Good choices. Ed, your turn.
Okay. What are we talking about?
Miss Universe. Are you watching
Bad.
Pornhub?
Yeah, sorry.
He's watching
okay.
OnlyFans.
I had the USA in my first stop all this time until I saw South Africa yesterday, because when I saw the material she posted about her send-off event, I saw a queen. Like, I was not paying attention to her. Everybody saying she's not gonna place because she didn't win Miss South Africa. She was the first runner-up. But what I saw yesterday, I saw a queen. I saw Miss Universe, and I was so impressed.
Yes,
But
yeah.
so impressed how she carries herself, the makeup, the hair, the wardrobe, the national costume, everything was so perfect. And South Africans, whenever they take a mic, it's game over. So I think she has a great chance of winning. I have her tied with USA in the first spot, Noelia, who I get such a nice vibe from Noelia. She does a lot of charity work. She works for foundations with cancer. She suffered from cancer. She's a cancer survivor. And she's gorgeous. Everybody says that she's the twin of our Bunny, but I don't see it. But I just, in Miss USA, I see a woman who's really prepared to win Miss Universe. Also, I have Dominican Republic. She reminds me of Amelia, but in a more, she's so herself. She's funny. Like, if you see her videos, she's so funny. She's always making you laugh. She's always making these faces. And
yes.
I think she's really stunning. I think she's going to be in the top 5. I also have Nicaragua, who I love. I think it's time for a country like Nicaragua to make the top 5. Shanice was great in Miss World. She's a beautiful woman with a beautiful heart. And completing my top 5 is Philippines, who I had the opportunity to meet in London when she was in Miss World, very briefly. But she's a woman with a lot of content. She's really smart. She's really dedicated. She's really intelligent. She's someone you can sit down and talk to her like for hours, and you will never get bored. And then completing my top 10, I do have Jade from Nepal, because I think she deserves a chance, and it will open floodgates for everybody to join next year. I have Mexico. I think Mexico is really strong. I think she looks exactly like Thailand. Thailand and Mexico are like twins. Only that Mexico is a lot taller. I have Spain. Spain, I love Spain. She reminds me of Eleni Fureira. For those who don't know who she is, Google her. It's the same everything.
Yes.
The same fabulousness, the hair, everything.
Yes.
Puerto Rico, because I remember when Puerto Rico was in Miss Supranational, I was impressed with her figure, with everything, how she looked, her elegance. And in the 10th place, I have Netherlands, for reasons I explained earlier. I think she also deserves a chance, but we will see. And then completing my top, Colombia, France, El Salvador, India, Peru, and Thailand.
Yeah, it's a very, very competitive year this year, I think, Miss Universe. Oh, somebody's saying Emma forgot Nepal.
Yeah, and Nepal. For the sake of gimmicks, I'm gonna say Nepal. Poor thing is a strong girl, but I don't see her moving anywhere further than that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put Nepal into the mix as well. If it's a top 20, I hope Guru is the top 20, and then it comes down. Then of course Nepal, and then a lot of other gimmicky contestants will make it as well. Let's see. But yeah, who's that girl?
Obviously,
and Thailandia.
Obviously, this is going to change, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be changing. I mean, you have Argentina and Canada.
Yes.
Rafa, you like Canada?
I had Canada. Oh my God. Yeah, I did mention Canada. Yeah. So I don't know. It's Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a white girl. Did you know that? Zimbabwe.
Oh
Yeah. She's tall, blonde, Barbie doll type thing. So I was just.
But if Thailand
wins, Zimbabwe.
If Thailand wins, she will be the second one to winning one of the top Grand Slams in history. Well, at that time, Lara Dutra won Miss Intercontinental, and then she won Miss Universe.
But Intercontinental is not Grand Slam, baby.
Well, not anymore. But you know, at that time was
It never was a Grand Slam.
Well, at that time, let's give her the time of the doubt. Somebody said that, so you know. But yeah, I mean, I would love to imagine the two Supra sisters holding hands, Thailand and Puerto Rico.
Wow.
That would
That's
be
gonna
amazing.
that would be the best thing ever. Because I would be
Yes.
like this. I would
I
be like
agree.
this. If Puerto
agree.
Rico wins, I'm gonna celebrate because she have everything to win. But if Thailand wins, because she had a lot of pressure.
Mhm.
I feel that she has so much pressure. If Thailand doesn't make the cut, but don't make the top three,
No, that's not
I
gonna happen.
think
She will
Thailand
make
is
the
gonna.
top three. She will make the
I
top
hope
three.
so because
She will.
she had that vibe. I mean, I think
Listen.
I would not be mad if they crown Thailand. This is one of those moments that you feel like I don't care if the owner is Thai. I would not mind if Thailand wins, but I would love to see that end. Thailand and Puerto Rico together, two Supra queens competing, just holding hands to see who's gonna beat.
You know,
That would
this is
be
a
awesome.
pageant of a beauty queen, and I think Thailand is the only one coming with an army.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like Thailand has a disadvantage because the owner is from Thailand. Because, you know, if you own a competition and then you pick someone from your country, it's always controversial. Always people say it. So I feel like being from the country of the owner, it's kind of disadvantage.
What if El Salvador wins?
Well, USA won 9 Miss Universe already, so it's an
Yeah.
American company. So I don't think the owner has anything to do with it. I
Mhm.
think,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I think Thailand is she's my winner right now. She is my winner, Thailand.
Mhm.
She's
So
my front runner to win as of
Yeah.
right now. And
Yeah.
Nicaragua for the Latinas, for Central America, Nicaragua, as long as they keep the same hairstyle and they don't change it, because
Hmm.
that works for her. That short hair
Yeah.
works for her.
Mhm.
So hopefully her team is listening. No extensions, no long. No, she needs to stay like that because that's part of the winning look. That's how she's getting the attention, and that's what I like when I see girls with short hair like we saw in Grand. Who was Noemi? Remind me. Who was the person that had short hair and then put
Paraguay.
extensions on?
in Grand
Paraguay.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
They look
Paraguay.
amazing in short with the short hair, and then you see the extensions and kill the magic. And I like that. I like to see girls with short hairs because some of them looks amazing with short hair versus yes, like you, Lenka. We know that. But you know what I mean? Like luxury long hair is not part of being beautiful anymore. And that is the reason when Jamaica competed with Colombia won, which that was Jamaica's or Ukraine crown, not Colombia. I'm sorry. Uh, Jamaica have beautiful short hair. So we think
Yeah.
girls with short hair that deserve to win the crown because the
So-
look work for them. Zossi was the
Zossi.
first one with a very, very short hair. And some people were saying that, oh no, she's not beautiful. She is gorgeous. Zossi was the one that put
Amazing.
that Zossi was for me the pioneer of how to use social media in the middle of the pandemic. She's the one that literally said, "This is how it's done."
Mhm.
Yeah.
So thank you, Zossi.
You know, with
Zoe-
Zoe, I remember the day she won Miss South Africa, and I just looked at her and I said, that's next Miss Universe. This year, I'm still waiting for that. Because with Miss Universe, I always feel like there's that factor, and then you'll just see that girl and you're like, that's it. So I'm waiting for that. I'm looking for the Zoe factor.
No,
Mhm.
you know, I
No,
can also stand by Shanice because I've seen her over the years grow. I've seen her from her teen universe days. So when she was a
Mm.
teenager, and even with long hair, I mean, that girl has a magnetic presence wherever she is. She knows how to carry herself very well. And over the years, she's just built a very strong profile. So she's coming in very, very strong at Miss Universe.
Yeah.
I
In-
just hope that they're well. I think that because the competition is so short, it's only 8 days. There's no excuse for fatigue or tiredness or lack of energy, like in Miss Grand or Miss World. So if somebody is already tired by the second day, that means that you're not fit for the job. That's the only thing I need to say. It's only 7 days, so they need to be in their A game all the time, and that's it.
Has anybody seen this commercial?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You're
Ooh.
adorable in this. Oh my God. I just completely forgot to say that. Oh.
Well, well, well.
Lenky, great.
Yeah, so you did use whitening products.
Sorry.
I was like, what happened?
It was my computer was malfunctioning. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
This
that
was
Sure.
one of the biggest jobs I have done, but it's funny because it was like, oh, Lenka is stinky.
I like it. And that
I
male
love that.
model was
I
into
love that
you.
commercial. I
You
love,
never
I
know,
love
Kunan
that.
might like it.
Yeah.
That's true.
It was
So you know
fun.
something. Speaking of Kunan, we're talking about what we would like to see in a Miss Universe or who's gonna win. But what is she gonna do? Because our Bonnie won Miss Universe, and I felt that her reign was completely shadowed by Kunan and her antics.
Mhm.
And we didn't see our Bonnie used to her, to her potential as a speaker or as a model or whatever. So sometimes I think like, okay, they're looking for a speaker, but our Bonnie didn't exactly do that. And even though she had her fair share of, events, so I'm thinking like, what she's gonna want this year, or probably, for example, I love Nicaragua to death. I think politics might prevent her from winning because after all, this is in the neighboring country, El Salvador. Could be, I don't know, but I'm thinking a lot about it. No, people are not prepared for another South Africa win so soon,
Mhm.
I'm
and
ready.
if we have USA, I mean, I would like her to win, but it's not going to happen.
No.
Like if
Go back to
USA
back
wins
for
again, everybody's gonna flip.
Mhm.
So I don't know exactly if she's gonna look for a stunner, if she's gonna look for someone who's easy to work with. I'm not
It's
sure.
really
And
hard.
as for Thailand, she's very strong, Antonia, but I think Thailand is due for another Miss Universe, or for a reason I don't think it will be her. But that's my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what the problem is with Miss Universe? I feel like some national directors create competitions because they want to be seen, right? It's like I make competitions so everybody can see me, like not paying attention to the girls. It's for me to make myself famous. And I feel like with Kun An buying Miss Universe, I don't think she's buying it because she wants to create amazing business, amazing competition. It's more like I want to make myself famous through Miss Universe. You know what I mean? Like this is my tool to be visible. So the girls are losing the visibility. So sometimes I
So
feel like she
then,
doesn't even want to choose the best stunner because she doesn't want to be overshadowed.
who
Mhm.
knows?
That's what
Maybe El
scares me.
Salvador will win and she will reign as the co-Miss Universe, and her brother will be Mr. World.
There you go. Kirk
But this
Bunk.
is, and that's the problem that we have. I mean, again, I mean, you need to, if you want to make money, you need to expose your girls. They need to promote your brand. I mean, and that's one of the things that when I coach, it's like I don't need to be in front of the camera. And Rafa was there with us. I was behind the scene all the time when it comes to that for that reason, because my job, my work is gonna shine through you. Like I'm the sun and you're the moon, and my light will shine to you and you will look gorgeous. I mean, that's an analogy, of course. So it's the same thing. If Kunan was intelligent, she will do everything in their power, use Miss Universe as the puppet, and they will be like, oh my God, because I'm sorry, the current Miss Universe has so much potential to bring into the table. She did what she was able to do, but she was overshadowed. I mean, this is not a boy love story. This is not Rakuten Viki or any Thai TV show creating TV series every 10 weeks or something. This is Miss Universe. So if you wanted to just do it for yourself, you could just be a reality show. We don't want to know about you. We want to know about the brand that you are building. And maybe that is the reason why you were having problems to finishing paying this thing, because right now we don't know what Kunang is going to be choosing of what is going to be the parameters. Everything is being rebranded. Miss USA have a new director. The state directors for Miss USA are changing, and some of them have been decades being directors, and out of the sudden they've been like kicked out because somebody new is coming. So until this pageant happens, we don't know we would not have our map, like, okay, this is what she's looking for. It's gonna take like maybe 2 editions or 3 to figure Kunan out. In that way we know, we say we, but the state directors know exactly what to send into the competition to be relevant, to be able to do the fight. Because right now, nobody knows what that woman is looking for.
And I think the most horrible thing that has happened till now has been the fact that Putri Indonesia has been taken out.
Yes.
I think that is by far the most horrible thing that has happened to Miss Universe. Because we not only looked forward to the national contest, but we also looked forward to every Miss Universe going to Indonesia. And, they are the ones to actually bring pageantry into Indonesia. I remember their first delegate that came and placed with a one-piece swimsuit, They actually created a legacy for the country, and it was just killed like they never existed. And that was horrible. I think that's the worst thing.
Yeah, what's also unfortunate is that the winner of Putri Indonesia, who went to Miss International, did not even place an international.
Correct.
So that's too bad. That's really too bad. Anyway,
looking at the comments, Rafa, people asking like, we don't have Indonesian or favorites, and I believe even though she's a cute girl, Indonesia, she's collateral damage. There is no way they're gonna place her after everything that happened. There's no way.
What happened?
So.
What do you mean collateral?
The winner
damage?
of Miss Universe Indonesia.
Oh,
after.
Yeah.
And also,
She's representing the country and everything.
Well?
Fabienne. Yeah, her name is Fabienne.
By the way, as in,
because I look at Puter and she's like featured on their page, so I'm just like curious if they're like running it right now. But for me with Indonesia, it's when the scandal came through, all of these girls claiming what happened, and then she was the only one, or not only one, but she was like one who never said anything. And I'm like, so it didn't happen to you? Or did it happen and you allowed it happen because you wanted the crown that bad? Like I felt like she should have stand by her like sisters, by the other finalists, and help them and defend them.
Right.
So I'm kind of on the fences with her because I just don't know if she kept quiet because she wanted to keep the crown, or you know what I mean? Like it just makes me a little bit doubt.
Yes.
But I love Indonesia, and you know that.
Taking on the previous point that everybody said, as an Indian, I do have to say this about South Africa. That national costume, I think, is the best innovation of a sari ever done.
Very nice. And the color really pops up.
Green, isn't it? Green.
It's not just the color, just how they have done it is so simple, yet so elegant and classy and magnificent, So I think that's the best interpretation of an Indian sari. I have to say that to them and give them props.
Yeah, they always make fabulous costumes because the creative director of Miss Universe South Africa, that bald white guy, what is his name? Wessel?
Werner.
He's amazing. He's just a very talented guy.
I wouldn't say that all the previous costumes were that great. I did think their stories were great, but the visual that we saw finally did not really come through. But this one is bang on point.
All right, so who's going to watch Miss Universe in person? Who is actually going to El Salvador? Raise your hand.
I would have said yes if the country did not put the fine on us. No, do you know that there is an extra $1,000 that an Indian citizen has to pay to enter the country right now? And a few other African countries.
I posted about that on my Instagram. Yes, as you know, El Salvador government decided to penalize any foreigner coming from India or Africa to the country, to El Salvador.
Why is that?
They have to pay $1,000.
By the way, just before he, like if this goes out to him somehow, you were one of my favorite politicians, Bukele, and now I have to reconsider.
But why are they doing that?
What's the purpose of that?
They're doing it because to cut down on illegal immigration, because apparently they have a high number of foreigners coming from India and Africa, migrating to El Salvador, and then before they march their way towards Mexico, towards the U.S. So that's
gotcha. Okay.
so yeah, which is unfortunate. Really, it's really unfortunate because that's gonna piss off, of course, legal visitors from India or Africa. So.
But Rafa, forget about the finals. What about the national preliminary competition? I think there's a fees for that as well. If you have to view it online,
You have
I think it's like $5.
which is
correct?
actually no. There's a discount of 10. I think there's a discount of $3.50 if you buy early, like right now. Yeah, so it's very cheap. That's
Is
really
that $5?
$3.
I think $5 with the discount.
No, $5
with the discount.
with the discount. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still very cheap, but nobody knows when the physical tickets are going to be sold. If there are tickets ever for the actual
Monday. Actually, it's on Monday.
It's on
That's what
Monday? Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
So is it true though that the seats in the stadium are cement? Are there cement bleachers?
No,
or-
they
Yes, they're bleachers.
They
Are they
have
cushions? They have like actual
No,
chairs,
they're
like cushions.
No,
like,
they're
like the ones in the stadium.
Okay,
They're bleachers.
they're bleachers, but they're not cement. Nobody
No,
wants
they're
to
not
sit
cement.
on a cemented bleacher
Well, it is cement.
because it's a stadium, right? It's a sports
It's
arena.
a stadium. It's a sport.
Okay.
It's a sports stadium.
Okay,
So remember Doral? Did you get to go to Doral? Miss
Right.
Universe in Doral? Remember that it was bleachers and then they would give you a little pillow for your
Right.
little fake
yes.
So
So it's like that. Okay, but I also heard that the majority of the El Salvador citizens cannot afford to buy the tickets.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be like really expensive, like Philippines 2016 expensive, like $1,000 probably.
And the best seats have already been reserved for the VIPs, the
Yeah, for
diplomats,
the government.
and the Miss Universe staff. So,
Mhm.
which is again too sad. But again, the best place to view the pageant is from the comfort of your living room. Eat your popcorn, do your reaction videos and whatnot. That's the fun part. Have a viewing party with friends. Go
That's
to.
what I wanted to tell you. Why we don't have a viewing party, all of us with our reaction?
I think we
Right.
should. Want to do
Yes,
that?
we
Let's-
should.
let's-
But listen,
Can you
coming back
imagine?
to that, on this topic, Rafa, how much popcorn did you have in the grand live? It's like your popcorn never got over.
I never got to finish my popcorn, by the way, because I was
Oh, there
Because
was
you can
more.
put like
So all of us will have our big bowl of popcorn, and then we need to be like, okay, dramatic reaction or angry reaction or something like that. I don't know. I think we need to
I'm
be like
going to have my popcorn in caramel just for inclusivity.
This is my bad luck hut.
Yeah.
Rafa, if you wear that, Thailand is not winning.
What?
If you wear that hat, Thailand is not winning.
Fine, I'll take it off.
Yeah, look what happened to Colombia. You were
Exactly. You
didn't
jinxed
know
a
what?
win.
Colombia, she ate the mango from the temple. I have said it from the day one.
There you go. That's why she did not win, because she ate the mango from the temple.
She ate the mango from the temple.
She did.
Yeah,
That was,
so
you know,
they
I
were
thought
at
that
the
was,
temple, and you know how people give offerings to,
Yeah.
the universe Buddha and so on. So there's a picture of the mango on the temple, and then there's a picture of her eating the mango. And I was like, uh-oh, that is a bad curse. And then I think she posted somewhere claiming that it was a mango from somewhere else, but I'm like, it looks exactly the same.
sure.
And we're like,
also at the introduction, she was pointing at the crowd. I saw one video where whenever there's a curse of whenever somebody points at the crowd, they never end up winning. It was last year with Venezuela and this time with Colombia. So that's another not so good omen to
and
win.
then
To all
don't
the
forget the
contestants
card
that-
reader.
To all the contestants that are going to Myanmar, tennis shoes, read the rules. and don't eat food from the temple, and you will be okay.
All right. Who is going to Miss Grand International next year? I'm actually considering going. Very
Also
I'm
soon.
really
going.
gonna go.
Yeah.
But this
wanna
because
go.
I've already been in Myanmar and it's a lovely place.
I think we should all
And I
pledge
always
to
wanted to go
go.
back.
I think we should all
We
promise
can-
Let's
ourselves.
go.
We should all go.
I need
I think
history
we
to be
should.
corrected.
Myanmar is beautiful. My brother's been there and it's fantastic. The food is amazing. So I really want to go.
Oh, you've
for
been
food.
there?
And the gems. And my brother has. He keeps going. And for gems, and I collect gems. So I definitely want to go to Myanmar for shopping.
You have to have Myanmar tea.
Really? I've had
Yes,
the coffee. I've had the Vietnamese
Myanmar
coffee.
tea
has
is
been my-
amazing. But yes, I
yeah.
have something to be corrected in Myanmar.
This is one thing I like about MGI is because they already know the date, October 25th,
Yeah,
2024.
exactly.
Thank you,
Yeah.
God.
So we're
So I
already-
guess
But-
Noemi and I will go to Vegas. Maybe we can meet with Rafa and all of us three in the same plane to go into Myanmar.
Wait, meet from Boston to Vegas, meet the
No,
two-
because you'll do Boston, maybe New York, right?
Boston, New York, New York. I'm thinking of Boston, New York, Singapore Airways, because it's an 18-hour flight, and then connect one of those cheap airlines from Singapore to Myanmar.
Yeah.
That's
So
probably the
that
best.
would be me.
That's the
doing it
best
because
way
I'm
to do
stuck
it.
right now.
Me.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
That's the best way. And
Yeah.
By the way,
think-
I hear that Miss World is in Philippines in 2025.
Really?
Well,
That's what they say.
Yes.
Well,
we don't know. We don't know.
Let's
know
make
what?
it happen. Let's
Yeah.
make it happen in India and then Philippines. I mean,
Okay.
Well, you know,
just
March.
It's jinxed in India. I don't think it's going to happen in India for a while.
You don't think really?
Maybe
no.
Julia ate
I
a
mean, it
mango from the temple.
Do you know how many times they've changed the venue in India? I mean, every few weeks, Guru and I'm like, oh, it's in Goa. Now it's in Mumbai. Now it's near Kashmir. Then it's like not there anymore. And I think it's political. I don't think it has anything to do with the elections. Like Melvyn, you were talking in the beginning of the show. But they are right-wing extremists that do not want that to happen. So there is threats that if it does happen, there would be a problem. So that is a major issue here. I don't think it's anything to do with the elections, but safety. So I think now Julia is going to reconsider everything now. But
But I'll
Just
tell you
take it
this,
back-
when
take
they
it
were
back to
considering
London.
Srinagar, when they were considering
yeah,
Srinagar and when the
that's
whole
why I
team
knew
had
it turned
gone
political
there,
because there is an issue there, right? So when they said Srinagar, you knew it was
I had
political
the
and
big
it was.
fear of the safety of the girls because of,
It is only safety
know.
issues, Melvyn. It's nothing more than that because they said Srinagar. I was like, what? I mean, that is such a conflicted area, so much of dispute. We are not going there, so you cannot have a show like that. Bikinis, no, not gonna happen. So I think India is definitely out. It's sad because we were really looking forward to covering this, but I think Myanmar, I think we'll see. I want to see you guys there. I'm dying to go.
Isn't Myanmar, somebody posted, isn't Myanmar has been civil war since 2021? Is that true?
Very much
yes,
But yeah,
yes.
dangerous.
They
That's why I was surprised because truthfully, I am dying to go to Myanmar because I have been loving their Buddhist culture. I want to go to Shri Dagon temple so badly. I love their way of Buddhism, like doing good. At the main point of the Theravada Buddhism is to do good merit and so on. So I'm dying to go to Myanmar, but I'm kind of scared because I know the situation is dangerous and I imagine so many
it's
girls in the
certain
same place.
areas, Lenka. It's not the entire country. There's certain areas that you don't
The
visit.
capital-
No, they did
the
cut
capital-
off.
go there.
They
Yeah.
did cut off the
there
internet
before.
connection quite across the country. And you remember
Mm.
that is what the Miss Myanmar had spoken in the top 10 of Miss Grand, which
Mhm.
is why she
Mhm.
couldn't go back to her country.
I mean, the national director is living in Bangkok. Last year's winner is from Thailand too.
But he's paid a lot of money because of the pageants going there. They want tourism to happen, and so they are inviting people. So they're going to try their best to keep it kind of safe for all of us, I guess. But people are still traveling there for work. They do, but I don't know on something on such a large scale because there's so many. In the southern part, you have these wonderful beach places, and I keep googling. I'm not gone there, but so I'm sure the contestants will go there, do some beach run. I don't know how it's going to happen or how safe it's going to be.
I just
But
hope the fourth. I just
You don't
hope
hope
the
the
fifth
vote-
B is not bombed.
bomb.
Oh my God.
Yes. I
You
just
never
hope,
know that, but then you know what he's doing, right? It's all about tourism, and then the whole El Salvador again is all about tourism. No one's going there. It's just part of that, but how much of it's going to work, I don't know. But I think to visit Myanmar, I think it's okay for a few days. But other than that, I don't know how they're going to handle a pageant like that so big. I don't know, but we'll see.
It's
Let's see.
scary. I just want to make sure the girls are safe. That's all I
Yeah.
care
But
about.
this is the
Not just the
second
girls,
year,
but
the
everybody.
second time that they're doing it in Myanmar. They've done the pageant previously in Myanmar.
Yeah, in 2017.
Mhm.
that's what,
Yes,
Peru won.
correct.
And
Yeah.
it's an upcoming
No.
pageant
2018.
country,
But the
so
coup broke out
Myanmar-
after.
They did it when Paraguay won.
Paraguay won. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or let's call it when India was robbed.
Mhm.
But the
And if
coup
you-
was
if you-
after.
When India was robbed, exactly.
Yeah, hopefully, no, the winner doesn't pass out because that would be ridiculous.
You never
Also,
know.
when-
History repeated itself this year. It might next year too.
Do you imagine India first runner up, a deserving contestant, and then Paraguay just pass out? I will be like, this is ridiculous.
Okay. Yes, Lenka, you were saying something.
No, I just wanted to say that when last time it was happening in Myanmar, it was before the most recent coup. The coup d'etat that happened most recently was 2021. Ever
Correct.
since then, it's
Okay.
kind of became more dangerous. So that's
Correct.
my concern. Because let me know, we
Yes,
are
yes.
bordering with Myanmar. So I kind
Very
of like
true.
see all that happening.
Very
And
true.
I mean, I love Myanmar and I would love for MGI to bring the tourism there and for the people to make money because there are really people who suffer there so much. So I really want it for them. I just want to make sure they're gonna keep the girls and everyone who's gonna visit safe, you know?
Myanmar
Yeah.
is an upcoming pageant country, and they're very strong. They're very beautiful girls. So I think they want to be noticed, and they're
Yes.
trying their very best. Because
Yeah.
if you see on social media, you're going to see a lot of Myanmar coming up. And fan votes, Myanmar's always going to win it because they are kind of becoming very strong in pageantry. So I
Yes.
do feel, yes, you got to give them a chance. You got to, I mean, every place has conflict. My country has conflict. Come
And if you if
on,
you're talking
everywhere.
about
My
if you-
internet was down when, a couple of months ago. But
if you,
life
and
goes
if you're
on.
talking
So
about if you're talking about fan support, I think this year the Myanmar fans have gone like really overboard.
yeah.
This is what I heard. This is what I heard. They are so desperate to have their girl make the top that they
Mm.
literally printed like millions of cards that they distributed in the streets of the country, passing out
Yeah.
cards to every living soul, asking them to vote for Miss Myanmar. And that's
Yeah,
like,
they actually had a
That's
billboard in
beautiful.
every
No,
corner
I can
too.
agree. They're
Every-
very passionate, very, very passionate.
They're
And I
lovely people
remember,
in general. Yeah, they're lovely.
Yeah.
They're peaceful. And Buddhist. Yeah, I'm Buddhist. I know. I lived in ashrams for like years. I know the community and how, even in Vietnam as well, and Thailand, of course. I've been in Thailand for many years. So yes, you have that nature
have
of the
to.
Buddhist being peaceful. Yeah. So you would see loving kindness in the people, mindfulness in people. But yeah, politically, every place is unrest. So I don't think we should.
Isn't like Myanmar involved in some border dispute with Bangladesh? Border
Yeah.
clash? Yes,
They
are.
have
They are, yeah.
every border around this area has issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
From
but
India,
the border
everywhere
is
there are
not
issues
as
in
big
border.
as the civil war that they had within the country with their own
That
army
was-
against
yeah.
the government. Yeah, that was a way bigger one. But the beautiful thing that I remember from my last experience in Myanmar, where they had this entire street partying one day before the finals, only hoping that India was going to win Miss Grand. So they had everybody with posters and all singing, her name. And I remember being there for the national costume round, and I was the only Indian, so I was waiting to cheer India when she said India. And before I could say it, the entire audience behind me said it, that I couldn't say it. And I was like, what? Really? So
Yeah,
so
that's
they're
They have a
very
lot of
loving
love.
people. They're
Yeah, they
loving
have a
people.
lot of
And I
love
think
and-
Myanmar, even Laos is coming up. These are becoming pageant powerhouses, of Asia.
Yeah.
So, big props to these countries.
That's
Yeah,
That's another
don't
thing that I
skip out
love.
on Myanmar, guys. If you guys want to go, all watching as well. I think don't be scared. Just go. You can make it.
So
But
from now
we'll see
on,
how that goes.
I'm going to start saving money for my trip to Myanmar next year. And you guys should do
Me
the
too.
same.
Come hang out with me in Bangkok and then we can all go to Myanmar.
That's a good idea. That's
I
a
think
good
it's
idea.
going to be the closest for me as well. Yeah.
We'll hang out. We'll hang
Maybe.
out. We'll hang out with Lenka for a few days, and then go to the beach or something. feed the stray dogs and stuff. That'd be great.
Visit Nawad, and Nawad can bring him some kitties, some cats.
There you go.
Hey,
Exactly.
Nawad.
Exactly. All right, we're
See,
gonna wrap it up.
Nawat wants a tiger, not a kitty.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't think he wanted the
I
tiger.
just-
I've just seen Prachi Nagpal. I don't think he wanted the tiger.
See, Prachi Nagpal was not a tiger. She was Tigger from Winnie and the Pooh.
No, you're
what?
insulting Tigger. Tigger's adorable. She was the
Yes.
Ramleela tiger. Have you seen
That was not a tiger. That was the worst pajama party.
Oh my
Now
god.
what?
it's
Now
hideous,
what?
yeah.
Now what? Now what is a pussy man? All right. Let's wrap it
That's
up.
the reason I want to bring him kitties. Just like a reminder.
Rafa. Oh my god. Did you just say that?
All right, we're gonna wrap it
Melvyn
up.
loves very well trained.
We're gonna
tiger.
have our next group chat will be as Miss Universe approaches. Maybe we can have after prelims of Miss Universe. We can get back together again and talk about the prelims.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do
Well,
that.
coming in.
Let's do that. So do your research. If you know very little about the Miss Universe contestants, go to the Miss Universe app. All the official headshots have been published. Also their bios. The bios are much shorter this time, I think. Only less than 100 words or something. But the photos are, they're great. Point of reference.
But they also
So
have
do
their
that.
voice videos.
They
The
have some of
voice
the-
on their advocacy.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's not even talk about the videos,
Yeah.
let's not even talk about that. But just for reference of some sort, go to the Miss Universe app. So yes. All right, people. My lovely guests, thank you again for joining this group chat. I
Thank you
always
for having
appreciate
us.
your friendship, your invaluable insight and perception. We all argue, as what she said, as she was witness tonight. Emma became very intense when I mentioned the word ugly, okay, which is fine. We all have our different perceptions of beauty and ugliness, and that's fine. We still manage to respect each other and embrace each other and be tolerant of each other's attitude. And that's the most important thing. Despite all our differences, we need to learn how to respect and embrace each other's differences. Okay, so that's what the world is all about and love is all about. So thank you, Lenka, darling. Thank you for gracing us with your presence as ever. Okay, I'm sorry, I did not mean to show that old commercial of yours. Yeah, right.
No, it's fine. I actually love this commercial. I have done a bunch of commercials I never even seen, but this one was actually a really fun job to do because it was amazing client, amazing day of shooting, and it was funny. It's
It was
hilarious.
fun. So if you guys want to get to know Lenka, even better, go to her Instagram account, Lenka Vomocil, and she was also a model for Project Runway. So go ahead. You upload
8.
video clips, of your old runway show. Noemi, darling, thank you for joining us again, and we'll see each other again doing Miss Universe prelims. Melvyn, thank you. You
It's lovely to have.
you cute little Indian handsome boy, you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be a part of Critical Beauties. I mean, I love the Philippines right from my childhood, and now to be a part of Philippines through you, it just
Critical
feels
Beauty
right.
Philippines rocks. Yay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wilfredo, mi amor, Lulu, you're my original Lulu. I love you to death. Yes. And Ed, Mr. Dominguez, thank you for your presence and your input. Always appreciated as ever. And of course, the Pageant Gurus, Guru and Emma. Thank you. Thank you. Go check their YouTube channel, one of the best YouTube channels surrounding pageants, the Pageant Gurus. Hit them with your comments, nasty, evil, good, ugly comments. Welcome. Please
We love them all.
engage. We love them all. Okay. Follow everybody else on our social media. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to Critical Beauty Salon. Smash the subscribers button and also the bell icon below to get instant notifications for the next updates. So thank you, people. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend ahead and weekend at week, wherever you are. Mabuhay. Muchísimas gracias. Merci beaucoup. Goodbye, people. Talk to you
You
later.
didn't say Dhanyavad.
Namaste.
Shukriya. It's Shukriya.
Shukriya. Bye, guys. Adios.
Sawadee ka.
Bye, sweetheart. Bye, everyone.